Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of costumeco Live. That's not even a proper name. It's just, we call it the Roundup. We call it the House of the Dragon Roundup. And I have actually, if you've been with us previously, you'll notice that the people who are here now are different than what we usually have. But I want to, Tatiana will be joining us. Rebecca unfortunately had a conflict. So in her stead, or in her steed, I have Alicia, who's here tonight with us. And our very special weekly guest is A.U. Packmule. I am so delighted to have him. It's been a while. I tried to get him to come on for the Lord of the Rings stream, but he had some conflicts, so we're hopefully going to have him back for that. But welcome, both of you. Hello.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Hi, Alicia. Same. Okay, so hey, before we start, why don't we just go around to it's just the two of you. Why don't we go to both of you, and you can tell us a little bit about yourself. So John, why don't you tell everybody a bit about yourself?
Well, my name is John. I have a channel on YouTube called A.U. Packmule. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook under A.U. Packmule. And I enjoy a lot of the Game of Thrones, anything George R.R. Martin, and also Tolkien and other fantasy writers. Robin Hobb, Patrick Rothfuss, things like that. So if you have any questions, let me know. But Heidi is super gracious to have me on, and I'm really enjoying working with AK for the last, 5 years maybe. So it's always fun.
Yeah, and I think I met you through Justin, AU. I think I met
Westworld.
you through Westworld, and
Yeah.
Alicia, I think I met you through Justin, so we can thank Justin for introducing all of us.
Yep.
And
of course, Justin's bringing the realm together.
Yeah, and Alicia's here. She's got the Valarians behind her, the well-dressed, beautiful wedding party that they are. Do you want to say, who you are and what you're all about?
Yes, hello. I am AK. I have a channel as well. It's called AK Watch. I talk about this show, Them Dragons, hashtag Them Dragons, and talk about do a little bit of Lord of the Rings stuff and a lot of Game of Thrones stuff. So, and just random nerdy things sporadically all around. Station notifications and give me a sub. I might be talking about something you like sometime.
Awesome. And, sorry, I screwed that up. And here she is. Never, yeah, late but never late. Princess. Never. What's the expression?
It's been a day.
Yeah. So Tatiana, you can tell everybody what's going on with you. Hello, Tatiana.
Hello. Hi. So we just had a hurricane. On Sunday, it only just stopped raining yesterday. I'm fine. My family's fine. We were one of the lucky few that outside of the power, we weren't really.
That's a plus.
Yeah, we weren't really affected by the storm. Now we have power, but we'd have no water. So it sucks when you really want to, have a shower. We're not gonna talk about that. Outside of here, though, it's bad. It's pretty bad. All the rivers in Puerto Rico, they overflowed to ridiculous extremes. A bridge was destroyed in the town of Utuado. I actually sent Heidi a video.
I saw that. I saw the video of the bridge. Yes.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Because it was a storm and not because when it entered Puerto Rico, it was still a storm, and as it left, it became a hurricane. People underestimated the power, even though they were warned that it was gonna bring historical levels of rain. Like we had over 20 inches of rain, like 30. It could be like up to like 50 inches. Hey, Erin. Hey, Boo Boo. And because people underestimated, they didn't, and many of the people that were living near the rivers you could see again. I show a photo of this to Heidi. There was a family in a 2-story house that was trapped because the water reached almost to the second floor. They were trapped, and they were like literally in the middle of a river, and they had to like bring helicopters to rescue them. Like I could hear from the radio, like everywhere. They were just rescuing people left and right.
I just have to share this with you. Natural selection, just trying to lighten the mood a little for you.
20 inches.
20 inches.
Normally, great, but this will be an exception.
Yeah, it's not.
This will be an exception.
Thanks, Carl. It's not so snarky tonight. That's really sweet.
Oh God, I'm looking for the chat.
So somehow you've managed to do your hair and makeup though during all of this. You look
It's
beautiful.
looking gorgeous.
Yeah.
You look kind of like I know. Are you going for a Rhaenyra? Because it kind of reminds me of Princess Leia.
I'm going for like Rhaenyra meets Allison.
Okay,
The
sure.
hair is Rhaenyra, like the jewelry is Rhaenyra, like the color scheme is Allison, and I even did like the green
I
and
see that green.
I love it.
Are you
It's
using
gorgeous.
a different camera?
Yes, this is my tablet.
I like
I'm not
it
using
better.
my
I can
phone.
tell.
It's better. I like it.
It's a brand new
Looks good.
tablet. Thank you.
Yes, Aaron. I just want to say, everyone, Aaron is here in the chat. So he's one of our queens. Aaron, I'm really happy to see you here. By the way, I actually want to just say.
My baby.
Yeah, I just want to say hi to everybody, actually. We've got Day is here, the Black Stag, Sabina, Terra Incognita, Jeps, 1973. Who am I missing? Am I missing any? Carl Snark.
Floridian.
Jamero Giles. I think that's everyone for now. Thanks everyone for coming. Well, anyways, Tatiana, I'm really glad you're here. Maybe we can take your mind off things by talking about House of the Dragon.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, I'll get to it when we do a general thoughts. But it was an episode. It wasn't.
So before we do that, though, do you want to just tell everybody a bit about yourself in case they don't know who you are?
Stop! I'm Tatiana Melendez. I'm an actress / singer / amateur costume designer / costume enthusiast / grammar Nazi / nitpicker on occasion when I feel like it. I'm from Puerto Rico, born and raised. I'm currently in Puerto Rico. I have just, as I just mentioned, for those of you who just got in, I went through Hurricane Fiona. It was an experience, not as bad in some ways, not as bad as Maria. In other ways, worse than Maria, because the rains were actually worse than in Maria.
Oh, I should say, actually, before we get into this episode, there's going to be spoilers. So if you're joining,
heavy spoilers.
I just know because I'm already
spoilers.
we're already going to have them, and I've seen in the chat and stuff. So I screwed up because Tatiana, after you left after you left the Lord of the Rings stream, I think at the very end we kind of got into House of the Dragon, and then people were like, "I haven't seen that." I'm like, "Oh, sorry." So I just want to warn you, there are.
This is not that show. This is the show.
It's a different show. So there will be, and then John, if he gets into book spoilers, there might be some book spoilers. So I just want to warn everybody. John's
Can I say one thing to that point?
Of course you can. Always.
The book has been out for a while now, people. This is not new material, and even though the show
technically
is new, it's been out for a few days. You've had more than 24 hours to watch. If you're here and you haven't seen or read one or the other, that's on you.
Awesome.
Spoilers are coming.
Well, it's funny because someone was saying this the other day. Like basically, Joffrey tells you what happens in Game of Thrones. Oh,
Copyright 2018.
Boom. Thank you.
I have it on my tablet. I have the digital.
Me
Actually,
too.
Aaron has the digital.
I have
one,
both.
too.
Audio version.
Digital
both.
and audio and the book.
No, someone was saying the other day, and I'd forgotten this, that Joffrey says what happens in the story in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I guess
totally
what he's
forgot
giving.
about that.
But I mean, nobody's going to put that together. So I understand, like if you don't want to know what happens, and also though they are changing quite a bit, right? Like they are
Yeah.
kind of. I think there probably is going to be a video someone doing books
For
versus.
good, I think. I like a lot of the tools.
I kind of like a lot of the changes. Yeah. Okay, so let's go around. John, I'm going to start with you. You're a special guest of the week. Why don't you start with your first impressions of the episode, or just the season as a whole up to.
Well,
this
first
point?
of all, let me just say that every single episode is a 10 for me. I haven't, just to give you a really quick synopsis, I've just enjoyed every single episode. Almost like my team is in the Super Bowl and we're winning. That's the way I feel about House of the Dragon. It's just been great. Every character has been cast very well. I don't see there to be a weak spot anywhere. The writing is great. The costumes are amazing. Yeah, it's really good. This one, no slouch. It's a 10, and they're really kicking it into gear. And it looks like they're going to go into overdrive next week. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Wow, John, high praise from you there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go to 10 out of 10. You can't go anywhere from there. Yeah,
Make it go 15 out of 10.
I think the fourth episode was my favorite, but this is probably my second favorite. I love the fourth. Okay, so Alicia, what about you? Why don't you tell us what your overall thoughts are up to now?
My overall thoughts for this episode, as they kick out these episodes, like one's my favorite, then the next one comes out. Okay, nope, it's that one. Oh, nope, now it's this next one. Episode 5, right as of right now, is my absolute favorite so far throughout the season. There's just so many. I mean, well, one, because of the greatness of, the lovely folks behind me right now, but also just because of the story. Like they've been doing very good with these small jumps and leaps through time, and they've been keeping the story very tight and concise and making sure everybody is on board and everyone's doing the job that they were hired to do. I'm highly impressed with all of this. I love everything that's been coming from all of these actors, and I'm gonna miss our young actors after this one. I'm going to miss them, but I'm looking forward to seeing what our older ladies are going to do in the elder characters next episode.
We can't hear you.
I had someone today say it's only been 3 years since the pandemic, and I'm like, shut up. Okay, anyway, not you, Tatiana. No, he said to me snarkily, not you, no. He said to me snarkily, it's only been 3 years since the pandemic, and I'm like, okay, whatever. No, I was just going to say about Rhaenys' necklace. It reminded me of a Viking necklace that I saw at an exhibit one time, so I'll have to look at that more closely. If you guys,
you know what that speaks to? That speaks to her husband being the sea snake and having a great bunch of trade partners overseas in places like Bravos and all those other big places over there. So she gets that lovely niche jewelry that nobody else in Westeros really gets to see.
Yeah,
or she gets the swag. So she comes in with the kick-ass drip with everybody in line, gold everywhere. Look.
Totally. Okay, so Tatiana, why don't you give us your overall impressions of the episode?
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself here. So,
marriage is what brings us together today, and that is all I know of that quote.
I love it.
It's a love between two people.
Thank you. I just needed to say it.
Love.
It's love. Love. Yes, man and wife.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
That was Peter Cushing. Peter.
I
don't know his name, but yeah.
I don't remember his
name. Good job.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Marriage.
But anyways, my actual thoughts is that this episode was fucking amazing. Oh my god, it was so good. Oh, I felt like I needed a cigarette after that episode. Oh, it was so good. I don't even fucking smoke. I had such a good time. I lived this episode the screeches and the laughs and the cackles that I had. Maybe it's because I just went through a goddamn hurricane and I desperately needed a distraction, but god damn it was just a distraction that I needed. Oh god, it was so good. I mean,
This is where
man.
in the live stream we go, I'll have what she's having. Do you know that reference? Yeah.
We should all go through a hurricane every once in a while.
Right. You know, pass it to the left, Tati. Come on now, share with your friends.
Carl is doing all these as you wish. Inconceivable. That's inconceivable.
I'm gonna have to watch The Princess Bride this weekend.
I don't think you know what that word means.
Oh god, we should do a live stream. If we go to like a classic movie live stream, we should do it about Princess Bride. Honestly, yeah, let's just like a movie reaction.
Like using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yes.
I use that so many times. I think that quote so many times whenever I hear someone say something really stupid.
Carl's saying the people in the room next to me are starting to ask questions about these noises.
Tell them to stop
Put your
being
headphones
boring.
in.
Sorry, Tara Incognita.
We're not going to apologize for being good, giving you good energy.
So I'm trying to figure out, why don't we start? There was a lot that went on. So I was thinking, I have everything sort of in order. We could. Do you want to go in the? I think this is where we started, right? Did we start with this?
Oh yes.
You know what I was disappointed with that part?
What?
Is that they had no sigil on their.
I think it's carved into the leather, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not in there at all.
I'm surprised they were wearing leather.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it get old in the veil?
Well, no. Then they're the armor. I would expect it's the leather that threw me, but there is like copper metal over the leather, and because this is House Royce. If you remember, House Royce is a house of the north that migrated to the Vale. Those runes, when we talk about that house that has like runes etched into their copper armor,
right? This
is the house we're talking about. This is House Royce. They remember. And those runish, I wish we'd have got a real good close up on those because they're kind of like old Firstman runes. So they're like protective spells because they're preparing for the long night too.
Yeah.
So I loved how they had that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have a close up of it. So I'll have to look at it later. But I mean, I don't know. Leather armor. I love Lady Rhea. Like someone said to me the other day, I said, "Oh, this is kind of like boiled leather, queer bully, brigandine, something or other." And they like, "Are you sure that's a queer bully?" And I'm like, "No, it's not. It's like it's fantasy. It's all fantasy. This is all fantasy. All of this. This is Game of Thrones. I mean, except for Stannis, who has perfect, wonderful."
It's Stannis the Menace
that they
He's the best. But most of this stuff is like this is all fantasy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No one wore this.
Nope.
So I actually want to get I had this armor guy in my pocket that I want to call up and see if he'll come on. I just thought it would be really fun. Maybe we'll do that. So okay, so let's go. Let's talk about this. And Tatiana sent me this picture. This
the only time you put her on her back, huh?
No, it's not the only time. This is just the only time that he finished.
Someone said he was going to leave her, but how could he possibly have left her? But how could
he did leave her?
I think he was going to leave her. So again, he didn't have to be the one that actually gave the final blow because she wasn't going to be getting up from there. And who knows how long it would have taken anyone to find her body, or if some wild animal didn't come along and then she would be eaten or whatever. So, and I thought it was just her giving a jape, but it was more than just her giving a jape. And Lady D is who pointed it out to me in our discussion last night. She's saying that was basically her plea for mercy. Like with the Hound and Arya, when he started talking off all that dumb shit to try to make Arya kill him before walking away from him. This was that exact situation. So she came up with the perfect thing to know that she just cut the suffering here, make him actually man up a little bit and finish the job. And yeah, That was it. And I'm mad that they gave us another badass lady that they took from me just 5 minutes later.
Seriously.
I know.
His posture here though is so crazy. Look at his posture.
He
Well,
gives
it's
me
Damon. What else do you expect?
like honestly, he gives me like some Assassin's Creed vibes in that
Yeah.
photo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I expect him to like just melt into like a crowd of people and just go like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay. So that was a very short-lived, scene.
I like
he
it.
had to get the wifey out the way. And yeah, I agree, Tati. I really liked her character. Those couple minutes they gave her on screen, she ran it.
Yeah, she killed it. She gave me she gave me Yara Greyjoy vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think
she had
if
those.
Yara
Also,
they were either best friends or lovers, honestly. Oh my god,
why did he leave her? Why did he have that big of an issue being married to her? You talk about the bronze bitch.
She didn't like him.
And women are not as cute as she. Are we looking at the same woman? Because she hella sexy to me.
She mocked him on their wedding night, didn't she? Like, because he couldn't.
It's because,
I mean, look, when you come into the bedchamber and you can't handle business. I'm sorry, you deserve to get talked about.
He can't. It's because I've heard this various times already through various videos. He can't get it up unless he's the dominant one. He can't. He can't. Yeah. He has to. He is like a wannabe dom, secretly a dom. But he's a wannabe top. He's secretly a top. But because he doesn't want to like he. I've even heard that he might be like a sadist, like a dominant, like a wannabe
dom thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the minute he loses control, or like with Rhaenyra, when she starts enjoying it and actually going along with it, he's like, oh no, I can't even do this no more. I'm out. It's exactly the same thing that happened
here.
Sorry,
Tara, do you mean his wigs? Or do you mean I don't know what you mean by his headwear?
No, he's not.
It's funny because actually the actor Matt Smith was talking about his wig, and he was saying he thought it looked best from the side angle, not when you look at it straight on. But there was, I think it's What Culture were making fun of his short wig. I actually think that might even be his own hair that they've bleached. It's cut exactly the same as his hair. Mm-hmm. But what was weird about it, we were talking about it last episode, is there was no reason why they explained why it was cut, unless someone said he wanted to get rid of the blood in his hair. But I'm like, well, you could have just washed it.
But also, right, just one other thing I'll point out about Lady Rhea, she had absolutely no time for Damon and his nonsense. He came up there looking with us all menacing, and she just looked at him like, so what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, you mean
like, it doesn't matter.
I think the hood is supposed to give him a bit of a menacing, it's like, that's what Tatiana's saying. It's like Assassin's Creed, right? It is. Okay, but
totally. He's coming up on a woman that absolutely knows how to carry herself. The chick is rolling around with the bow.
She knew it was him right away.
She's ready. She's ready on any given day. I don't think he was going to intimidate her ever.
Yeah, honestly,
one of the things that made him mad.
She should have also had like a sword or a knife with her, not just the bow, because bows are great for like long range. But he was pretty close.
Even if she would have had a sword, he made the horse. He startled the horse, and the horse is who did the job. A sword wouldn't have helped either way.
I want to know who ended up eating the pheasant, though. That's what I want to know. Do you think that Damon took the pheasant after? You can see it on the.
I mean, he did a snack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot of meat
like that. It's not a lot of meat, but maybe he took it. Sorry, I'm just making light of that. Okay.
And I agree with what Day just said. Matt Smith's face acting in this whole show is on point.
Oh, he's amazing. My favorite was when he got that scroll and he opened it up and then he started beating the messenger. But the look on his face.
Take this. You knew something was coming.
Yeah.
Messy Damon.
Anyway, he took the pheasant for an appetizer for his dragon. Yes, very good point. Actually, there was a couple of birds on there. Or maybe he used it to bribe to get into the wedding feast. Like, because someone was like, how did he get in there?
I was going to say, how did he get to the head table? not just inside.
They
the
didn't.
room.
Nobody expected him to be there at all. You see, they didn't have no place setting for him.
Yeah.
He had to sit
I
on
was
the
Him
side.
being
expecting him to
allowed
do
in
it.
there, I
I
don't
was
think that would have ever been a thing. He would have. He's the brother of the king. Of course, he's going to be able to walk in and go straight to the head table. That wasn't an issue. They just didn't expect him.
I was expecting him to do a Tyrion and just drag the chair, go and take the chair from the end and just
That
drag
would have
it across
been
the floor.
amazing. That would have been amazing.
He's petty
table.
enough to do it. He's petty enough to do
Yes,
it.
He
exactly.
would. I think Viserys ordered a chair to be brought to
good
him.
catch, Jeeps.
I think he knew he would do that. He knew it's like he shut that off before it could happen.
He's he didn't seem that shocked by it, right?
He's
Like,
Was he
okay.
supposed to be banished?
Let's go. Let's go.
Fandom said that he was supposed to be banished. Was he banished?
He was.
Yeah, he was. It's his
Ah.
second banish.
When he
Okay,
did the
okay.
Night
It's
of
his,
the
it's
Forgot
his
about
second
that.
banishment. he was unbanished and then rebanished. By the way, David's going to be coming on Fandom D Saint. I think they're not next week. I think the week after. So
The week after? Sweet.
yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
I will definitely
So
be in the chats.
why don't we go? Okay, so I've got all these pictures. So we can. Do you want to go to? We did that already. These guys here. We've got Viserys.
Yes.
Poor Viserys. He is looking rough.
Poor Viserys. Oh, fuck Viserys.
Really? I kind of feel bad for him. He's got like
agree.
David.
I
Well,
so
David
agree.
confirmed
He is so
on
bad.
Twitter.
Oh.
Apparently, he has a type of leprosy, and Patty Cosendine confirmed that.
Yeah.
Now, Patty's doing a hell of a job playing him.
Oh, he is.
Absolutely.
He's
I stand
amazing.
him. But Viserys
Yeah.
is King Patch, as I now will call him forevermore.
Kim Pat.
Nah. He gets no sympathy from me. No, he is laying in a bed of his own making. You really trying to be mad because you get here and the Lord isn't there to greet you? You don't deserve to have Corlys out there to greet him. But you know who did come out to greet him? That girl that you wanted to pass over because you couldn't keep it in your pants for a couple of years and wait.
Her.
Her fine self came down there. Look at the hair looking beautiful and that melodic voice. And what could Viserys say? Oh. Like y'all see when he panned the camera over to him, he was stuck for a little bit. He didn't. That vision was just too much for him to behold.
Oh,
You could have had that. You could have had that in your bed, but you chose to be a dumbass.
Yeah.
Sorry, Heidi. My mouth is
He
always
had
bad.
he
I'm
had no
sorry.
imagination of what she would develop into. He just saw her as a little princess.
I mean,
a little girl.
he saw Rhaenys and he saw Corlys, and they are two fine-looking people. He could have just done the math and see, the gene pool is good. This one. The gene pool is good.
Seriously.
Hey, can I just say, the big dick energy that Corlys came in this episode. Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I was like,
There he is in his
I
chair.
volunteer as tribute. I am my body is ready. Like, Jesus Christ, that man is looking fine as hell. It's like,
His chair.
my domain now.
His chair reminds me of, like, in Canada, you go to Canada's Wonderland and they have this giant chair that you sit in that you look like kind of like a hobbit in, and your legs hang over the edge. That's what it kind of reminds me of, like one of those really massive chairs that
I
you
wonder
take
what ship
photos
that
in.
came off of. I'm just now looking
Yeah,
at
it
like,
looks
the
like it
shape
might
of
be-
the back of that.
It could be
Definitely
made up
shipwreck.
of parts from a ship, but
That's
no, it's
really
amazing.
cool.
You know what I love is this snail. That is so cool.
Oh yeah, it's so pretty.
Oh,
That
dude. Is that a carving? Do you think that's legit? Like maybe the fossilized shell of some mystical creature that
would
he
be
found?
very
I
cool,
mean,
right?
he's been through a
That
lot
would
of
be
land.
so cool.
I
Well, I
wouldn't
don't know
be
if you
surprised
remember,
if he
but
found
he
it.
was staring at the crab feeder mask from the harpy mask.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he probably has trophies of all the different conquests.
Right.
Because on the
right.
wall, walking up to that area, was his ship
Yeah.
where he was.
And all those exploits written all over the
engaged.
wall.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, good call.
Well,
good
and
call.
that kind of goes back to what we were saying about Rainey's necklace. That it sort of looks like a piece. He would have picked up while in travels, or it was like a loot find, or what do they call that? Like not a grave find, but a loot when they do looting. I don't know if he is into looting, but
I think we should.
Oh, I'm
let
sure he
Tatiana
was.
speak.
He was a sea lord.
She's in rare form tonight.
yeah. So there he is with, it's so funny. I keep talking about Patty Cosendine, who he does this sort of a bit of a slouch. So he always looks a little bit on the short side. Like he's, it's kind of
Yeah.
smallish. I think he is fairly tall, but just, he's just,
He's playing into the sickness.
He's very physical in his role. Well, I had read that, like, John, you can remind me, but I don't think there's anything in the book about him being ill. Is there?
Not that I remember. Yeah.
Because I think it was Patty's idea actually to have him be sick. And
I think
was
he
saying,
was, but it wasn't this early.
Sure, yeah.
If I remember, yeah.
Because I was saying originally I thought it might have been diabetes, and that because they wouldn't have had a treatment for it. But then Patty came out and said it was.
I like Tony Teflon's explanation.
Sure, what did he say?
He said that because of the different cuts that the throne was giving him, that it was spurring him like a knight spurt. He has spurs, and it was spurring the horse. Well, the throne is kicking him off the throne itself.
Mm-hmm. It's rejecting.
So I just love the way he came up with that. It was really cool.
I've heard that too. It's
that
like he's
does not want him.
It doesn't want him. Oh, what's Aaron's saying? Aaron's saying, I know the throne cut him a whole lot, but I don't remember he had any true issues. Well, I'd read that. I'd read it was Patty, the actor, who came up with this idea. I think it adds like an extra level.
It falls in pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good, and also it just kind of gives him because he's a handsome man, right? But then it just adds that sort of like gross, like he's got these sores and he's
all over his back.
We can
see that.
We can see like the scene where he's being treated. There's like, what the fuck is on his arm? It's like his arm looks like
poultice.
Yeah.
Clay poultice.
That's what I thought it was too. In the Maesters, the Maesters are trying to.
Orwell offers him a poultice, but Mello said no, that's not necessary. To do the leeches instead. So I thought he was like the leech.
Orwell had the cure. I guarantee you, Orwell had the cure. And what's his name came back. Whoa! What you doing trying to make him feel better? No. We'll bring the leeches back out. Let's try that again.
Yeah, because
gray rats scheming.
So, back to so we were talking a bit about his physical self, but then so would you guys want to talk a little bit about this scene with Rainey's? And some people were like talking about how it was weird her reaction to seeing her cousin, but it was actually I thought it felt pretty genuine.
That was genuine.
Yeah, she was.
She hadn't seen him in a while either.
She got beef with him. She got beef with him because you've wronged their house, Viserys, and that's why you knew that you had to come here face to face to make this proposal. But still, that's her family. Of course she's going to be worried because she's looking at him now like, yo, you need a chair, bruh? You sure you good, cuz?
Yeah. And then he went and had a little nap like I do when
he didn't have no choice.
Yeah, I really got the impression that the Grand Maester doesn't know what the hell he was doing because he always doesn't follow the I forget his name, the other Maester that is treating him.
Is it Melos?
Melos, yeah.
Sounds familiar, but anyways, he's coming up with these great suggestions, and then the Grand Maester is just shutting him down. So either the Grand Maester doesn't know what the hell he's doing, which is my theory.
Oh no, yeah, the Grand Maester is Melos. Sorry.
Or the Gray Rat theory was, they're trying to get the Targaryens out.
Orwell's given.
It was weird though because in the first episode,
Orwell's the one that's given the suggestions.
Okay.
And Melos keeps rejecting them.
It's weird though because in the first episode, when he has that sore on his back, and they take a little sample and they said they're going to send it to Old Town and see what they say, and they don't ever seem to come up with anything. So maybe I don't know. But
they don't want to come up with anything.
I guess not. Maybe they want him to do badly. But what's weird is that somebody said this. I'm getting to the end of the episode that when he collapses, and you're like, dude, this guy's like on death's door, and then we see him in the trailer for the next season and the next episode. So I'm like, how is that happening?
Well, he is dehydrated from the ship.
And he's sitting down. He can't stand up. So
yeah, so he's dehydrated. Is that what it? So anyway, I just thought I kind of like was a little bit like I thought you know, if he's to survive another 10 years, I would have thought that he wouldn't have been as far gone as they've portrayed him here. But what do I know?
Maybe Orwell finally got through to the king and started treating him
Yeah.
instead of Mello.
Well, Tennis
Orwell
high
was
territory,
treating
but
him
they
for
don't
a
want
little
him to
bit.
get better from episode 1. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So there is
Orwell was
something going
treating
on.
him, and he was getting better for a bit, but then they stopped that because they
of
didn't want him
Otto
getting
leaving.
better.
Yeah. One of the things I said in the very first episode is, if only Rhaenyra and Allison would have a little conversation, we wouldn't be here. And then after this episode, I was like, okay, would everybody just stop gossiping? Like, if everyone stopped gossiping and opened their big mouths, we wouldn't be here. Like, imagine living in Westeros. That would frigging suck. That would just blow.
There's one key person in this whole episode, and it's a little bit later on, so I won't bring it up completely right now. But if that person would have shut what they call the frack up, it could have been a really big thing. That would have been
Hanson?
avoided.
Yeah.
No, not him. Not him.
Oh, really? Not him.
Don't mind.
I know who you're talking about.
He's not blameless.
Actually, this
he's
guy
definitely in there stirring.
Oh, Krispy
He's
Kreme.
in there
Okay.
stirring the pot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking
It was funny.
about
Do you guys watch
This is-
Jeremy Johns?
every now and then I catch
the
one of
movie.
his, yeah.
He's like a movie reviewer. So he was talking
Yeah.
about that. He was like, okay, so this is one of those situations, like, for instance, you know, if someone has an affair on their partner and they they've decided, I need to unburden myself of this, and I'm going to tell my partner that I cheated on them. They're always like, no, don't do that. Just keep your mouth shut, right? And he just couldn't
and then
help
wonder why
himself.
stuff
Anyway,
blows up.
we'll get to that later. Sorry, guys. Okay, do you want to talk about this scene, though? First off, we had Allison. Sorry, okay, let's talk about these two first. Sorry.
I love that.
The young lovers,
Well, lovers. In big
Yeah,
quotations.
lovers.
in quotes.
They-
The young
they-
lovers.
they-
Game recognized game.
I enjoyed this because I thought that they're gonna become like best friends. That like she was gonna be his best Judy. It's like, yes.
They were on the way.
I was like, I'm okay being I'll be your beard if you'll be mine.
They were
Yeah.
they were doing it right.
They
They had the communication down.
like, yes,
I
my
had high
man.
hopes.
I
I had high
like it.
hopes.
Me too. And God damn it, I like Joffrey. This is the only Joffrey that I actually liked. God damn it.
Well, and
Until
again,
he
they
opened
changed it
his
from
big mouth.
the books, right? And I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, you don't even know this person. Why would you say something like that to them?
Who told you to go say anything?
Yeah, and like, I'm like, dude, like, you know, you don't even know who this person is. Anyway, we're getting ahead again. Okay, sorry, I keep
I
doing
know.
that. I keep bring it down, bring it
Are we
back.
gonna get back to the young
Okay.
couple, or- no?
Yeah, let's talk about these two, John. What do you think?
So
John's
I've
like a
never
bit blue
really
here.
seen either in a book character, in a book character like this, where they've been able to communicate without really having this long open discussion first. They just like got it. There was no misunderstanding. Everybody knew what the goose was. Everybody knew what the roasted duck was. I mean, it was right on. And they were both digging the story. So
I kept getting I kept getting confused on who was the roast duck and who was the goose. I was like, wait, don't you both love roast duck? I think that's the issue here. You both love roast duck. Nobody likes the goose.
Sometimes you want some roast duck. Sometimes you want some goose.
Look,
And then
this is
sometimes you
the
want some
son-
of Alice's pheasant.
This is the
but
son
not-
of the I've dubbed them King and Queen Petty of the realm, Lord Corlys and Lady Rhaenys. He knows the game. He knows what's going on. He knows. I guarantee you that again, the subtext between Allison and Rhaenyra, it's done on purpose. There is a thing there. He knows that okay, you really feeling her, and you be trying to do this other stuff on the side too. Cool. Okay, so here's my tea. This is what's going down. Oh, okay. Fish bam boom. We got to put an air in there. All right, cool. We can pop one, two, maybe two out if we need a spare, and go about doing our own thing. They were already in sync. They were
That's great.
moving exactly
Yeah.
how they were supposed to. And then
Yeah.
I'll let it wait till we get to the scene.
I mean, I enjoyed how because the book is that it's like an open secret that Laener's gay, but I liked how accepting the family is. Like, okay, sure, Corlys wasn't like, oh, it's a phase, he'll grow out of it. But it's like
Rainey's got
that is so much better than how he could have been. So
Much
it's
better.
like, progress considering it's medieval times, and I mean
And
even
also-
nowadays it's some bullshit, but for a
And
lot,
also
so it's pretty good.
That Lenore himself knew that, okay, I can't escape no marriage. We got to do something. There has to be heir. All right, fine. He knows, look, we're going to do this, but you see that over there? That's me. So when you can't find me on them nights when duties need to be performed, find him, and that's probably where I'll be at, just so you know.
Yeah, that was actually...
Question based on a comment that someone said here, Imagination Realm said, she said, or they said, Rhaenyra said she tried goose, but it's greasy. Is she talking about Allison there? Because she kind of backstabbed her when she married Viserys.
I mean, if she is saying that it's greasy, she kept going back for that greasy though. So
I mean, it turned out greasy. Maybe it was good, but it had a greasy aftertaste.
Either way, she kept going back for seconds and thirds and fourths and fifths. I'm pretty sure they were still messing with each other up until the events of this episode. I guarantee you.
Probably, maybe.
Because this is where the battle drums were sounded and the line in the sand, stepdaughter, was firmly drawn.
Okay, so okay. Now I don't have a picture of it, but let's talk about back on the ship when they're traveling back. And for some reason, I was confused by this. Why does Cole have his armor off? Do you guys know?
He's off duty.
In what scene?
Is he off duty?
When they're in the boat?
He's never off duty though.
I kind of wonder that too. Yeah, because even if you're at sea, you still on duty though.
Yeah, he would always.
It's not that long before you get to King's Landing. So why the?
Yeah, and he's here. He's her sworn shield.
Anything could happen.
The only thing I can think of is that they were trying to make him look more sexy.
That's what I think. I think at least
more appealing.
For me in universe because he's about to like pour out his heart to Rhaenyra. He wanted to like come across as like vulnerable and open and like, come on, baby, please, let's run away together, baby, please. And when she shut him down, I was like,
if they were going to do that, they should have sprayed him with some water, like seawater, so his hair was all wet and his shirt was see-through, like Mr. Darcy.
And somehow his shirt was open. It was like a little bit of his chest hair.
There's not
very
chest hair or salt water in the oceans for this man to actually think the answer he wanted was what he was going to get. You want this woman to leave her throne, ruling her kingdom where she's in charge, where she has all the money, where she has all the gold, where she has all the dragons, to come on some side quests with you. To do what?
Aaron was saying that it would rust his armor, but Aaron, we were just saying he wasn't wearing his armor. My friend.
No. You really said with your whole pitch,
well,
you come away with me and we'll make our own way away from all the responsibility. Bitch, you've been talking to this girl for over a year now. She wants that responsibility. What made you think she wanted to leave? Of all people.
I know everyone has all these names for Kristen, but I don't think he's the sharpest knife in the drawer. I think he's kind of an idiot. Yeah, he's kind of an idiot. Sorry.
We knew that from like episode 2.
Don't you have that one friend where you guys get in trouble and the parents come up to you and your friend goes, "We did it." No, he's definitely stupid.
No, I learned very early on not to mess with people that can't keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so we were all on Team Rhaenyra, but also I think that she kind of under funny. By the way, what did you guys think of him calling himself a whore? I don't want to be your whore.
I mean, if we're being honest, that's exactly what he was going to be. Whore, paramour. In that
Paramour,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, well, he's from Dorne though, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly why this shouldn't be any surprise of an arrangement to him.
Well, it's confusing because in the books he's from the Stormlands, but they say that he's Dornish. I think, or that he looks Dornish. So in my brain, he's like he's half Stormlands, half Dornish, but like grew up on the Stormlands side because it's from the marshes.
He's
like
from Dondarrion or something.
It's from
Either way, it doesn't matter. He knows the lay of the land.
Jeff 1973
He's been banging all over the Dornish marshes.
Exactly.
Fighting over there. What the hell did you think was going to happen?
Sorry, what's that, John? Let's let John talk.
No. I was just saying, Jeff's 1973 said it perfectly, that she tried to let him down easy. I thought she let him down way too easy.
Too easy.
Yeah. That could have been much more brutal.
But that's why he's all heartbroken. Like, this is what I was saying on Twitter earlier. Like, this is what happens when a fuckboy catches feelings.
That's just what happens when you
deal with the rejection.
Basically, that's what happens when you think with your dick. Because that's what he did.
I personally don't think she should. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm not like, how do I put this? I am not on Rhaenyra's side. Like, and it's not because she wanted to, have a sexual relationship or whatever. It's not because of that. I don't think that she doesn't know how to play the Game of Thrones. This is what, like, if she was playing the Game of Thrones as a board game, she would fail, in my opinion. She is not very good at assessing situations, and the stakes for him were extremely high. Like, she's like, okay, maybe they're high for her, but he is supposed to have a vow of chastity, and he's not. John, are you making that face because of what I'm saying?
I totally disagree with you.
Really?
Yeah, I think she plays it very well. She's been the cupbearer since she was 8. She sits in the councils.
Not here. Wait. Not here. Not here. She hasn't. They changed that.
Yeah.
She was a cupbearer.
She was
from 8 years old, though, is what I'm saying. She started the training later here in the show.
Okay. So she still understands what's going on, more so than her father. I'll give her that. And she gets this whole Valerian thing perfect. I mean, her father spurned the family. She's going to accept this without any problem. And she makes the whole thing right. She wants to, have her cake and eat it too, so to speak. And I think that would have gone well under 99% of the time. If you look at, what Jaime did with the Mad King, that stuff happened all the time with them. So
yeah,
I don't think she's not playing it well at all. I think that was just him.
Yeah, but Cersei is Jaime's sister, so she knows him, right? Whereas she doesn't really know Kristen that well. She doesn't know how he was going to react. It's not like they grew up together or something like that. Like the same with Cersei had that love affair with her cousin on the side, and then that was a huge twist that he turned against
Jaime
her like
was a Knight's Guard. Okay.
No, I know, but it was her brother though.
No, but what I'm saying is he was guarding the Mad King while he was he was sleeping with everybody. So he knew what was going on. We saw that happen, and he still played the game. So I just think that being that he's a Kingsguard doesn't change the fact that stuff happens in the castle. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm sorry to disagree with
you guys are sorry. Oh no. Sorry guys, no, you're right. She has known for a while. Every king has a mistress. Yeah, I don't see why Rhaenyra doing this type of stuff. Oh well, because it's a patriarchy is why.
Because
your maidenhead is like it's your virtue, it's your
prized possession.
It is. It's your prized possession. It's the only thing a woman has. Do you know in Canada? Fun fact. That if you promised a woman to marry you and you had sex with her before you were married, you could be executed for that if you had promised to marry her in Canada in the 1700s.
We'd all be dead. Yeah.
I was about to say, wait, like today, you mean?
Yes, today.
Jesus.
This is how this is what happens with maple syrup in our water.
Wow,
no. In the 1700s, if you promised to marry a woman so that you could have sex with her and then didn't marry her, you could be executed for that, because that's how much woman's virginity was to her.
At least low-key equal opportunity killing for banging before you're married. At least.
I mean, I appreciate that in that case the blame lies with the perpetrator, not with the man, and not woman? Because usually the
Yeah.
woman is the one that's sick and slut
I don't
shamed.
know. Natural. I don't know how many. Probably not that many.
Maybe a lot. You just said
It
no.
could have been a lot, but I learned that in
Yeah.
history class. It's true. It's actually I learned that in school. I didn't read it on the internet.
Oh,
It was in a
boy.
book. But anyway, so well, John and I are going to
But-
disagree though, because I kind of think Rhaenyra is kind of an idiot. Like I'm having a real like I'll change my mind come the next episode, but I'm kind of like leaning toward Allison in terms of oh dear, yes. Oh, dear.
Ooh, someone's gonna
Yeah.
get some clothes now.
Well, it's
Someone-
probably because her dress is so pretty, and I really like her
Ma'am.
dress.
What?
you just said that you team green next to someone who's team black. Oh, I need some.
You know what? I am very, very invested now on finding out where Becks lands on this, because last night I had JDV on with me, and
She did.
his ass is team green too. Now Heidi over here talking. Is the whole of the Creators Guild team green, y'all? Inquiring minds want to know.
What did Rebecca say?
That's why I said I need to find out
okay.
Beck's opinion,
Well-
because I don't think she's gonna be team green,
I'm
but
sure
I don't know.
I'm sure I won't stay there. I'm sure I
Y'all
won't
have
stay
some-
there.
Both
I
you
just-
and JDB have surprised me.
Well, no, I think
I-
what it is that in the book it's really, really clear. But I think they're doing a pretty good job here of the
they are
stakes,
showing the
right?
nuances of both. Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
they're doing because we haven't talked about this scene yet, but the scene with and they did kind of allude to this in the books, but the scene where he's talking about what do you think is going to happen with your children? By the way, Otto, that was your fault though. What do you think is going to happen with your children? And it's so true, right? Unless they get on their knees and beg
No.
for their lives.
You're forgetting something here, though.
Sure.
Rhaenyra is not the cutthroat, bloodthirsty woman
Yet.
that we know her to be yet. At this point in time, there's still a decent relationship there between the two of them. Had things been able to stay on good terms, I feel like Rhaenyra would have rather have paid child support and sent them across the narrow sea every month to keep them quiet, or like Lady D said last night, marry them off. A whole bunch of different betrothals could have been had across the realm. She didn't have to kill them. There were many other options that were there for the taking. She would not have had to kill them at all.
Well, Aegon
And I
had
don't
it
think
right
she
when
would
he
have wanted to.
suggested. Aegon had it right when he said, "Marry her to Aegon." That would have probably have solved it right there. I mean, it's
I mean, the
gross.
same thing could have been said if Viserys would have married her
Well, yeah,
to
that's true.
Daemon in the very
But-
beginning.
But he's an idiot too, so
Yeah.
I feel bad for him being sick, but he's kind of an idiot, right? Well, this is what it is, right? It's kind of like what started it? Like what started it? It's like it's all the
It
things.
started because Rhaenyra cheated on her girlfriend and then lied to her face about it. And baby girl said, "You know what? I'm done." And now here we go.
I think it was before that when Viserys said he figured out the 5 days that his uncle was king and then died from poisoning, and then Otto became Hand. I think that's what started this whole thing.
Oh, what was it, John? Sorry.
You think so?
Yeah, that's-
Yeah. I remember that scene, but I don't think that was a start of a feud between them for that, though.
Well, he figured out he was spying on his daughter, right? So
Yeah,
then
he
he's
told him
like,
he
well,
was.
what else did he do? You know?
Yeah. He brought up that accusation of his father, which for real, that's valid. Like I said, Viserys ain't that smart, but every now and then he has great moments of clarity.
Agreed.
That was one of them. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that it's a terrible idea for the Hand to be keeping an eye on what things are happening in the is that like the worst thing that you could do?
It's the way that Otto words things, the connotation behind it he gives. Because if Rhaenyra would have been Rhaenor, there would not have been any report because she's a man. It wouldn't have mattered that
Or
they
if
were
Allison
spotted
wasn't
at the
her
brothel.
daughter, and
Yeah,
she'd be the queen.
Exactly.
It's funny. I was
What he
wearing
should
green
have
earlier,
done-
and I spilled something on it, so I had to switch my shirt.
What
I
he
was
should
actually
have
wearing a
done
green
was
shirt
just
earlier. Now I'm wearing
snatch
pink,
up
which is
those
sort of like a light
informants
version of
and
red.
kill 'em.
Tatiana's kind of wearing. She's sort of got a mixture of
I'm
colors.
I'm team. Well, I'm team someone. Who am I? You'll never know. I'm team Laris. That's who I am. I'm team Laris. I'll go wherever the wind takes me.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Day, I actually is it Dehay? I forget how you say your name. No, you're totally right because obviously by the time like she would have been out of childbearing years by the time Aegon would have come of age, right? So I know what you're saying there. I just think they're just a bunch of idiots. Like.
It's really
like the
idiotic,
whole lot of
way
them.
they
Like,
went
you guys
through
are
all
a
of
bunch
this.
of morons. Like
They
seriously.
are.
Viserys got too wrapped up in making some type of grand name for himself. So he he was almost pulling what's his name's what's his name's that I forget which one it was, but hearing that
Jaehaerys?
the no, not Jaehaerys, the Mad King and his
Oh,
whoever their dad was, that made them get married knowing that they hated each other.
Yeah.
Because it had to be, a special blend of the magic blood sitting on the throne, or to continue that legacy and be ready for the long night. He got too wrapped up in being like one of the staple people of the past that would actually get that done. Like his name would be given glory for it. That's what he wanted. He wasn't really thinking about how everything could truly unfold. He's very short-sighted in a lot of the plans he makes, and it comes to light a lot with how he handled everything with Rhaenyra. Like he even said, I probably should have told you this long before. I wasted so many years, because in the book she's a child when she starts getting trained. He's been honing her for leadership for a long time. That was never in question. Here though, it's when she's what 16, 17 when the show first starts. That's when you decide to start training your heir.
She's
stupid.
13.
Yeah,
she still should have been.
15,
yeah, 15 or so. Yeah, I think it was 15. Yeah. So that just the whole thing has been ridiculous from the very beginning. Ares is second. Thank you, appreciate that. So yeah, this guy.
Jake says,
all
"I
this
care
stuff
less
is just
for
gonna blow
rich
up in his
people
face."
problems." Viserys may not be a genius, but he kept regular people out of war for decades. Well, I think George Martin was saying that the seeds of war have been planted, like
the times of peace.
Yeah, they're there. The seeds are there. She's 14 in Epi 1 because then we have a 6-month time jump and then we have a 3-year time jump. I was trying to do the math, but I can't do math, so I was like, I think anyway. So next episode I'll wear if I'm wearing green, you'll know where I'm standing.
Ooh.
But okay, so let's talk about where are we now? So we talked about like the Whispers guy. Did we actually talk about him with the tea? Oh, how is Renina doing? Is she I heard she was unwell. Ooh, the maester brought her tea.
Oh, he's stirring the pot. He is stirring that pot. I was like, yes, stir that pot. Cause some mischief. And it's funny that his name is.
Who's this guy supposed to be? Is he like he's sort of like the Whispers, right? Is he supposed to be like a Viserys type of or a
Clubfoot?
Yes, Clubfoot. Yes.
Yeah.
What a mean name, eh?
No, it's a great name.
I mean,
it's perfect. I think it's fake, actually.
You want to be known as your ailment.
Hi,
I'm diabetes, and this is my friend cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Black Stag's like a messy bitch that loves drama and war. Not wrong. That's not a wrong assessment at all. I'm a fan of the Clubfoot though. I thought that was a sign of disrespect of him having to go hang out with the ladies, but the lady D got me hip. She's like, no. He's gathering intel. He's padding his resume right now to be Master of Whispers.
Yes. He gives me some strong, like he's like a. I mean, if you're going outside of the world of Ice and Fire, he gives me like a more subtle, cleaner Grima Wormtongue vibes.
Love
good
that.
comparison.
Like you can.
Much so.
He gives me so much Grima Wormtongue energy, but like without being gross. It's like
Wormtongue?
Grima Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings.
Grima
the one that
Wormtongue from Lord of the
Oh,
Rings.
okay. Oh, yes. Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
from Rohan. Yeah, and
That's a great
it's like,
comparison.
I know, right?
Jeez.
It's like if Grima Wormtongue, Varys, and Littlefinger had like an abomination baby,
Yeah.
and the baby had an unfortunate accident in the birth. That's him. And it's funny that his name is Laris. Laris Littlefinger. Varys.
Yes.
It's there.
Definitely.
Indeed.
Yeah, so John, what did you think about that whole scene?
Well, it was just a perfect, Disney villain giving the whispers, of what's to happen. Getting Allison to do what he wants her to do without being violent or bribing or anything else. It's just this little whispers in the ear.
Again, I'd be like, "Be gone, minion! Out of my sight!"
Right.
Also she's by herself in a courtyard, which is like you're not really supposed to be approaching the queen while she doesn't even have a handmaiden nearby or anything. That's pretty,
That's the
But
queen.
he's
right?
not
Unseemly.
threatening though. That's
I would have been
why
like,
he
"Be
can get
gone,
away with
minion!
that.
Serpent
away
in the
from
garden.
me."
Yeah, I like that.
That's how I would have written Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Be gone, minions! Away from thee, the queen. Anyway, that's how I would have done it. How would you have played it, Tatiana?
About what?
About
Sorry,
Allison in the garden. Allison in the garden with the with Lois.
Honestly, reading the comment, reading a comment here, it does give like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Mm-hmm.
In the Garden of Eden,
the flowers,
and he's
right?
like,
The
and
flowers.
yeah, and he was like the snake snack, and the snack. Apparently, you no longer spell snake SNAKE. It's now SNEK snack. Why? But as I was.
She should have handmaids. I'm not actually. I don't know why there's no handmaids. Marjorie Tyrell, she was like, woohoo.
Well, she had two when Kristen came in.
Those were like nurses or something.
Nannies. Not people that follow her around like they're supposed to.
Yeah, she should have handmaidens.
Ladies in waiting. She should have ladies in waiting. She should have a crown. That's like the one note I have about her fabulous outfit.
Why doesn't she have a crown?
Why doesn't she have a crown? She should have a crown.
They made her hair kind of look like a crown, kind of like the way they braided it and stuff.
Hairpins, but it wasn't no crown. I wanted a crown.
Look, little love's a spider in the garden. This is Aaron. It's very good, Aaron.
Nice
okay,
one.
so all right, so yeah, so that was no, I thought that was a really good scene, and it had just rained and everything. They had that torrential rain pour, and so what did you think though, John, about what back to Otto, about what he said to the threat to their family and that she's
it's true.
She's isolated.
He's leaving. Yeah. He's got to give her some inspiration.
Someone just walked in your room.
Yeah.
Oh,
hello, John, family member.
Hi, Mary.
Is that your wife?
Yeah.
Oh, she can come
in.
in.
She's the only one else that's here.
I think that the most unrealistic thing, only peasant women took care of their babies. A queen would never be doing the grunt work of a mother. Yeah, it's true, right? Yeah. I mean, she does kind of hand it off though. Yeah. But no, it's absolutely
she was already, every time we've seen her with the baby, they just been crying in her arms. She was more than ready to say, here, take this and go do something else.
Yeah. No, that's true. Actually, I have to say that is true about Allison, because she's supposed to be very pious and religious. And I wish we would, because I think that would actually inform her character a little bit better as well, that she's actually a very religious woman. And so
they kind of gave hints to that.
Well, and the fact that Rhaenyra lied to her, that would be that's an ultimate sin. That's like really heavyweight. But maybe there's that subtext there, as you guys saying, it's being hinted to. Okay, so what should we talk about now? Well, I was saying,
okay, what other pictures do you have up?
I've got, okay.
Brienne and Laenor. They're on the beach being all cute and shit.
I don't have a picture of them on the beach.
There was a question as far as
I think
Allison
on the beach.
Allison wearing a blue dress before she wore the green
Yeah,
dress.
I saw. What scene
And
is the blue dress?
It's
With-
prior,
Is that the Kristen when she talks to Kristen, the Krispy Kreme?
Oh, with Kristen Cole.
Krispy
Yeah,
Kreme.
she's wearing it then. Yeah, so that dress actually, she wore that dress before. Like she's worn it a few episodes ago.
That in the
So-
episode 2.
Does the queen not
Is that her
have
mother's-
her personal tailors?
I mean, not everyone
They
can be
keep putting this
Daenerys.
girl in the same dress. I don't
Not-
understand.
Daenerys and Cersei. I mean,
It did to me. Okay, to me that doesn't work because for me she kind of abandoned the green blue when she got married. The blue, I should say, the blue. It looks teal. Actually, if you see her in behind the scenes, it's blue, more like Tatiana's blue. But in the show, it looks kind of to the green. But thematically, it doesn't work for me because she's married Viserys and she goes to the Targaryen colors.
maybe it was her mother's dress that.
Yeah.
That's possible. Where's
That's
her
from
mother?
another
Where's
house.
her mother from?
I don't remember honestly.
Huh.
Come in with that drip. Came in with that
Probably
drip.
somewhere from Old Town.
oh,
What
in
does
the
that
end,
mean?
yeah.
I wouldn't say it means like the clothes was super nice. I wouldn't say that
Oh.
she came in with the drip. The people that were like dripping all of the sauce, all the lovely family that's behind me when
Mhm.
they had their banquet entrance. That's what a drip was.
That's actually, I love that, Tara. She says maybe it's that every time she visits the baby ends up crying. Maybe she doesn't have a connection. Actually, it was funny because that's actually oftentimes a
funny.
sign of like postpartum depression when they show like a
I think she
woman
definitely has
that like when you've had your babies so quick together and then you have this kind of a detachment to the baby and you're like
Yeah.
kind of I don't want to do a generalization about postpartum because it's a very nuanced thing, but just maybe for her, that's what it is. Chevron, hey, Siobhan, she says, the blue repeat definitely took me out of the story. I'm not sure what it was and why they did it. I think it would have been better if they had just done a repeat on her other dress and just had her wear that same dress. It was the same when I said about, Rhaenyra wearing that other dress like 3 or 4 years later. Like I was like, why is she wearing that same dress again? It's not even a good
We
dress.
have
I mean, if it was an amazing dress, I'd be like, fine, rewear it, but it's not. It's kind of ugly, actually. I thought.
Heidi, we have a special request. I don't know if
Sure.
you saw it yet. From
Oh!
Tim Fitzwater.
From Timmy.
And Rebecca's here. Hi,
Bex,
Rebecca.
Bex, I need to know where you stand. Black or green, please.
Where's Tim?
Well,
I'm working
No.
on a theory.
Oh,
because-
okay, we won't.
Heidi,
Okay,
you
but
have
I
to say it
promise.
like him.
Heidi betrayed her and switched to the greens.
I did.
So we're
Bex.
having a bit of a standoff here.
Yeah, so Bex, listen, last night I had JDV on for my discussion with the ladies, and he's also Team Green. So I want to see if all of the Creatives Guild is on Team Green. Like, you're my last hope.
Yeah, Rebecca, if you're around, you can pop in if you feel like it. Tim, if they keep drinking, I'm sure they will. You know what? I'm not drinking, but you know what I said when I started the stream that I will. I'm going to have a glass of wine. How long have we been streaming now? Because last
It's
week
been
I
about
made
an
a
hour.
total fool of myself, and and the next day,
Thank you, Bex.
What'd she
Woo!
say? Team Black.
Team Black.
Oh, that's imagination set. Where's Rebecca here? Oh, here she
Yeah.
is. Yeah, she's Team Black. That's fine. You can all be.
All right, good. I
you
won't
can all be
banish
that.
the Creatives
I'm not a
Guild.
bandwagoner. I have my own.
I won't
my
banish
own
the
way of-
Creatives Guild to the Shadow Realm now. You have a saving grace.
Sure. Okay, that's fine. I didn't say I was going to be there forever. I just said right for the moment. I'm feeling, I'm feeling that gown. I'm feeling, I'm kind of feeling that entrance in the middle of Viserys' speech. The snub.
The snub.
So, Kristen, before you commit seppuku. Anyway. Oh, yeah.
Are we going to talk about the Kristen Cole wacko scene? At the
Uh,
wedding?
The wedding. We
Well,
must
do you
talk
want to?
about-
Okay. Well, why don't we talk about the wedding?
Oh,
So we got to start at the beginning. We got to start
Let's
with
talk-
the,
okay, let's
the
just start- let's talk
tomfoolery
about
and
the wedding.
entrances.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Where are?
with
Okay.
Jason. Oh my God, Jason Lannister.
By the way, his outfit, I thought was the best men's outfit in the episode. I loved his outfit.
Really?
I thought it was
Which one?
I honestly
Who's?
don't even remember what
Jason
it looked like.
Lannister.
It looked like
I
the
don't
scene
see
in
it.
the
I didn't pay
hunting scene.
attention.
I didn't really
He was the first one. He came to the table, and Rhaenyra was kind of like, she was kind of like putting up with him, kind of. But I thought
She was
is it
bragging on
Jason?
her fiance.
He
What's that?
straight insulted her to her face with that dumb joke he made.
Yeah,
Viserys was even looking at him like,
it's like the strange
Do you have a
smile.
picture of him? I don't have a
Exactly.
picture of him. But anyway, his outfit was amazing.
I can try to,
As far as I
try
was
to find a
concerned.
picture of it and send it to you.
I don't have a picture of it. I've got lots of the Valarians. Okay, so all right, so that was okay. So then we had this guy. Well, actually, no. First we had
Rhea's cousin.
yes. So first we had
Oh, this motherfucker.
that guy come in, Damon.
Damon. Oh,
We
he
had
just.
Damon.
I laughed so hard. I laughed so goddamn hard when he came in. He was just, they see me rolling, they hating.
Yeah.
I'm riding there. You got some riding there.
I don't have a close up of him.
She did that.
Yeah,
well.
they did not expect him to be there at all. There was no place setting for him when he came in. They had to hurry up and scramble.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, by the way,
hilarious.
there is Allison in that dress, by the way, that we were talking about.
A very
earlier.
calculated move.
Yeah. So Damon arrives. They have
Almost
to
has
make
the
a
same
little place for
pattern as
him.
Rhaenys. If you look at
Yeah, it's kind of like a
AK's
dragon
picture.
scale.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
now look at
But-
AK's background.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right there, right behind
this
AK.
way.
Oh, behind AK. Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking about.
Yeah, the
Her
cut.
necklace
The
is
cut
almost
is
exactly the same.
similar. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I've talked about this. Hers has kind of got this overlapping, and I was saying it's kind of
more of a
actually. It actually is
looks
very
a bit more of a
similar to
choker.
Kristen's sort of like crossover.
Mm.
It's got a bit of that. But yeah, whereas Rhaenys, where is she here? Where are you, Rhaenys?
Yeah, Sam Edwards. I noticed that too.
Rhaenys is like cut, like she's got a center panel, and then
Look at the flawlessness. Of
I don't
her
actually.
on
I'm not
y'all.
crazy. I'm not crazy about Rhaenys' dress. You guys are gonna all hate me for
Wow.
that, but I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I don't like it.
I mean,
I
out
love
of the 4 is my least, but I still
Yeah.
like it. Like
I think
Yeah,
the guys look
it's-
amazing.
Everyone is on point, on theme. They came in lockstep with the strut. Everything had to stop, and the horns had to play just especially for them to enter in. And look, just look at it. That's what you call the drip. Look at that.
Now,
Brush your shoulders off. Pop your collar on that one.
I think Rhaenys is wearing a bit of a tiara. Is she? She got a tiara.
Rainey's the way
somewhere?
Rainey's hair
I
is
think-
styled. I think she has a tiara on, but it almost looks like she always has a crown on.
Yeah. Well, Tatiana was saying it was kind of like what did you say? It was like a trilobite or something.
a
like,
trouble.
uh,
What?
Trilobite. Like
A troglodyte? Troglodyte?
aliens. You know, aliens. Like
Oh!
Oh, yeah, the queen alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was,
You know when you're seeing a parade, when
Yes.
the Valerians come in, it's like one of those black colleges, like Temple or Texas, Florida A&M.
Coming in with
It's
the
like-
step team.
Yeah, I could hear the drums going now. It was so
Mhm.
cool.
Yes.
They were really,
Yes.
they had it going on. Love
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Is that Alicia? Okay, no problem.
No, Jackie, Meeks had send me that link on Twitter if you can. Meeks had told me about that earlier. I couldn't find it.
Well, I saw I didn't see Elena, but I saw Elena, I should say. I saw her with Damon, an older. They changed the
Oh.
character there too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they gave her an older
They-
actress
What
too.
are the
Yep.
kids carrying in the front? Kraken tentacles?
It does look like Kraken tentacles.
Sea snakes.
Sea snakes. Yep.
Oh, by the
they're
way,
awesome.
I sent you two pictures of Jason Lannister's kind of sort of outfit
Okay.
to the
Oh, thanks.
to the Facebook.
Also,
Do you see-
Heidi, I just wanted to make sure you saw what I put in our.
I
private
did.
chat.
Yes. Not a problem.
Okay.
So, all right. So let's talk more about the wedding. So where do we? I don't even know where to do this. Like how to do this. We got these guys, and Rebecca's not here to talk about this guy. We got someone was talking about the flower arrangements, and I'm like, actually, I think those are feathers. They're like
They looked like
That's
feathers.
what I
Yeah,
thought.
they look like
Yeah.
ostrich feathers.
ostrich
Yeah,
feathers.
yeah.
I thought it
I
was.
mean,
I
you thought-
actually thought that. I think the design
Which
is
is an
really nice.
interesting choice.
It's a yeah. You
And
wouldn't
someone
think.
was saying the way they've positioned Rhaenyra, she's sitting right in front of the,
Throne.
in front of the throne.
Right in the middle. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
You know
Please,
what
yo-
would suck is if you got drunk at that banquet table and you fell backward. That would really be bad.
oh,
Because you'd be landing
that would
on
not be
those
good.
swords.
You gotta wonder how many people that have happened to now
Oh,
that that's in my head, because
totally.
I'm sure it's happened.
Well, it's funny because I don't know that like normally they would have a banquet in the throne room. Like I think normally isn't there a separate room, John, for these types of events to happen?
Sure.
Like would they
A great hall.
They must
Yeah.
have a great hall or something that they do it in, or maybe they could rent the church basement at the the sept. What do you call it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they could just rent
Mm-hmm.
the church basement for a party like this. But anyway, I can understand like production wise why they did. That's the
Wait,
other
did
thing.
you say rent the church basement?
Yeah,
The
like
king.
the
The
septic
king.
baler
If
basement.
the king did
Orders
that,
it.
he would be laughed at. What?
I've been to a church basement wedding actually. It was really interesting. So who else? Okay, so we talked about this guy. What'd you think about the way Damon dealt with him? Like, I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna get my money.
So Damon, it was more of like you're dismissed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Like let me
who
talk
are
my
you?
shits.
Oh,
Yeah.
and why do I care? I love that. That was great. That was just perfect Damon.
Yep.
yeah, it was like, oh yes, I'm so bereft and grieved. Such a sad.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is,
Oh,
he doesn't
yes,
want
sorry
anything
for
to
your-
do with Runestone. He just
Yeah.
was trying to get under the guy's skin. That's all
Mhm.
that was.
And wanting him to get out of his space.
Yeah, he doesn't care about going to the
I mean,
veil.
you don't
Damon
know,
ain't
girl.
going nowhere to claim nothing.
We haven't gotten
in
to the
veil.
dress yet. We haven't gotten to that. But okay, so then we've got. I'm trying to figure out where these pictures are. It's like I can't see them because they're all like. Oh, here's one of the maesters. He's looking. These are all. They had a lot. And who's the Ned guy from Outlander is here.
It's
wearing
Otto's brother.
Otto's brother. Yeah. Oh, that was
Oh,
not
Tyler.
Otto's brother. This is the guy from the small council.
Isn't it?
Harold?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
guy from
yeah.
the
Oh,
guy that
nobody
yeah,
cares.
that's right.
The Maester
Right.
has a necklace on the left.
Yeah. And there's the Valerians from behind, and that's Lena.
Mm.
Now,
Oh,
is
love
that
the
her? Is
dress.
that
Lena's dress was fire.
that? Now,
So
I
much.
mentioned it was funny. I mentioned in a live stream or in another video that this fabric she's wearing is the same fabric that Joffrey wore in one of his coats, except it's a different color.
Did you tweet about that? I think I,
I
saw
did.
somebody
I
do a
call it
comparison
the
about that, yeah.
I call it the uterus fabric because it looks like it has a uterus on it. It does. It looks like it has a uterus.
Oh my!
It's from it's a
Oh
gold
my
brocade. It's really pretty.
Oh,
Sorry, am I
I
taking
wanna
this
know
down
who
a
made
really
that
weird path?
fabric. Who made that
Yeah.
fabric?
We've got
Yeah.
the tea.
We need
you
God.
know.
We need
Oh,
back in
wow. I'm
now.
going to request a whole video on the uterus fabric, please.
Yeah, actually the Valerians, I think they did kind of upstage the
Oh, absolutely.
the Tarks, right?
Although-
Which is raw. Like I mean,
Yep.
I will say though, I did this time around. I really did enjoy Rhaenyra's wedding dress a lot. Fallopian fabric.
fallopian.
That should
fabric.
be the name of a fabric store. Fallopian fabric.
Yeah, that would be a
Yep.
fun. That's like me. I want to have my I want to have my everything ermine store where I sell everything ermine.
It's gonna be called Fallopian Fabrics.
And then next door we'll have
Oh,
fallopian
man.
fabrics. That'd be funny.
That's
So
hilarious.
there's her. What do you think of her hair here, Tatiana?
Well, I mean, I tried to model mine after hers. I don't have
You
the
don't have the height.
abundance of hair. I don't have the height. I mean, she also don't have the amount of hair needed for that hairstyle. So they absolutely put on added hair
Yeah.
because her hair was not thick enough for that hairstyle. And the only thing that I would say is that the uh I wish that the braid in the back, the braid in the back, I wish it was thicker. It felt like an afterthought to me. Other
I
than
don't
that,
think I have a bad picture.
either have it. I think you have a. I'm gonna send you a side picture of when she's with Damon. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know if I was able to upload all of them.
I mean,
I love
I
the
send you a
ruby.
lot.
I love the
I did like the
In
ruby
fact,
hair.
yeah, I like that they're finally
Oh,
showing,
here.
how Stargaren does actually
There
have
we
some
go.
money.
See,
There's
there's a
jewels in her hair.
yeah.
Look at Lenore with that
You can
fly
see
outfit.
the little braid. I wish the braid was thicker, but
There's
other
one
than that,
with Damon.
it.
Oh, you know what? I do have the one with Damon. I just can't see them because they're like, ugh, they're so small.
Oh
Where's that picture where he's with Damon and her? Do I have it? Nope,
no,
that's the other one.
that's our booze. That's our boo.
Yeah, I don't.
They look so cute together.
Yeah, they
Wow.
do.
And then Joffrey
do.
ruined it.
Yeah, they even have kind of matching jackets. They're kind of like a little,
Exactly.
little
I'm
set.
sure made on purpose that way.
And I love that like Lenore has like the white hair, like the silvery hair, and then the gold, and Joffrey's hair looks like gold, and then his looks different. So he's like they look so cute together. God damn it, fucking Krispy Kreme! How dare you?
No. I don't put the blame on Sir Crispy for that. Joffrey should have kept his damn mouth shut. Nobody
Yeah.
told you to go over
Amen.
there and say shit to that man.
Amen.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's all on Joffrey.
I'm still not crazy about
At
Laner's
least give it a
wig.
week, right?
Like
AK?
Laner's,
At the very least.
I'm not crazy about Laner's wig. It still looks a bit mop-like to me, and I mean, I think I don't even like the actor has really short hair, so I don't know what the problem is. It's not like they had to try and get his hair under that wig. The style of it is just really weird, and I think that they could have gone with
Can you show the picture of Lena at high tide? There's a guy behind her.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's her. Is that the cousin?
I don't know who
Wasn't
that
that
is,
Jo-
but he's gone as hell.
Yeah, so
He
they
was-
could
There you
have
go.
they could have
There you
done
go.
that style, like it looks kind of very princely, romantic kind of thing. I think that would have been a much better look.
Here's a
Like,
thought.
when
They-
I was like, could you swap wigs with Lenore, please?
Yeah, I
They
don't
could
know
have just put
why.
his hair in braids.
Yeah, it's too short, and it just looks kind of like a mop.
It's awkward. It's an awkward length. It's a very awkward
Yeah,
length.
they really didn't get the right people to style all of these wigs, honestly.
Yeah,
And we've
they've
been yelling about that since episode 1.
They were trying to mirror each other, I think.
Yeah.
Aw,
Definitely.
Oops.
I think that was done on purpose.
they're so cute
I mean, I haven't
together,
been-
though.
I haven't been as I haven't actually been as like as upset about the wigs. I thought I don't know, like I think they're okay. And as Matt Smith says, I think depending on the angle you're looking at them, they sometimes look better than others, and it's hard to do it. It's hard to get wigs right. And the thing is, it's hard. And then if you compare it to Game of Thrones, I mean, there's only Dany and her brother, and then maybe Rhaegar, which is terrible.
Well, look how
wearing
bad they
wigs.
do with regular hair.
Yeah,
That
they do.
hairstyle, I can't even imagine trying to make a wig like that. That's
Yeah,
gotta be
like an
tough.
Allison, like I saw her in a behind the scenes picture and it looked really fake. Her wig looks so fake, but on camera, like here, it looks fine. Like her hair looks pretty good. Like here, like I thought, oh, it's like, yeah, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look
Yep.
wig like. I still,
So far, too magic.
yeah. So to have like an unnatural color like that look good is, silvery white. And, I think it was, Alicia was saying that it was like they used all kinds of different colors, like in silvers and whites. And I don't know. It's never really taken me completely out of the story. Like when I looked at the preview pictures, I was like, "Oh my god!" But when I'm watching it, it doesn't really bother me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only, I mean, outside of Lenore's, the only wig that like bothered me a bit was Baby Lena's wig when she's walking with Viserys, because like that wig line, it was so clockable. It's like I have watched too much of RuPaul's Drag Race not to know what to crack a wig.
That part.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, my take on Rhaenyra's hair is it doesn't look like, in my opinion, it doesn't look good. Like I don't think it's a super flattering hairstyle for her because she's so small. But I was sort of thinking of it kind of like it's weighty and she can't really support it. Like I kind of looked at it a little bit symbolically. I don't know if they were going with that. Kind of like when Cersei, she's at the banquet in King's Landing, or not in King's Landing, sorry. She's up in the north and they're at the banquet and she's wearing those kind of giant things and it's all like lopsided and falling over. And the same with the execution of Ned Stark, like her hair is kind of falling over. It's just too heavy for her. She can't really handle it. And I kind of think, even though it was fixed on her head properly, it kind of symbolically came across as she just can't handle the weight of this. Like she's just not ready. As they say about my prime minister, that was a slogan they had. He's just not ready. He's got great hair, but he's not ready.
Nobody said Cersei. Fandom, calm down.
Oh yeah.
You and your questionable taste in women.
I'm not allowed to say Cersei. What happens when you say Cersei? Like,
say Cersei 3 times and Fandom pops up?
Yeah, I am. Sorry, yeah, I am not.
He's a little
Team
in
Rhaenyra
love
tonight.
He's got the Christian Cole complex.
You know, and you guys don't even hear the things. I'm being really kind about Rhaenyra. You guys don't hear the things that I'm yelling at in the bathroom when I'm doing my hair before I go to bed or get up in the morning. I'm like saying some seriously terrible things about her. Or I'm in the kitchen yelling at my husband. Do you know what I have to say about Rhaenyra? You know what I have to say about her.
Like
I have a few things to tell you.
Jack, blink 3 times on the camera if you need some help.
That girl's not ready.
I mean,
Jack is probably sitting there every time like, damn it, woman, shut up.
If Fandom was Kristen Cole, he would have said yes to Cersei and whatever you want, Cersei, that's fine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have definitely been there.
Cersei did nothing wrong.
Yeah. For goodness sake.
But I was saying, like, her hair was kind of like she was like, drinking the wine, and her hair is kind of, and she was kind of topside or
tipsy.
Like tipsy,
A
lopsided.
little bit
I don't know. Okay.
Going back to like Kristen and Rhaenyra, I couldn't help but think earlier today, that it reminded me a lot of Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, Jesus.
Scandal.
Wow.
Like, can you not see it though?
That's so true. That's so
Bill
true.
Clinton and Kristen as Monica.
Yep.
With a similar explosion.
That
And
poor
I was like,
kid.
oh my god, I have solved this, you guys. I have solved the puzzle. The gold references are, I'm young, I swear.
In terms of like the hair people, this is something that annoys me to no end anyway, is that they wouldn't have someone who knows how to do this type of hair. I don't know anything about the people doing the wigs because I don't do wigs. I will occasionally talk about hair, but I'm not a hair person, so I don't know anything about it really. But I'm always surprised at that. It's funny, years ago I worked for a company called Obsidian, which was an Afro-centric theater company. And, so sometimes it would come up that we have to do hair and we'd have to do wigs. And I remember I actually went and found a salon in Toronto that specialized in black hair because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I don't know anything about this. So I actually found a place, and this was like over 20 years ago, because we had to have the character like iron her hair, and they used to use grease and iron it. And we had to do these specific wigs, and it was really, really particular.
Hot iron with grease?
Yeah, they would use like they have like an ironing comb that was heated, and then they would use like a grease to do it. So we, and so we had to consult with somebody. And so I'm always shocked at that when they don't. So I don't know. But a lot of these, they don't have, with the exception of this new series, the last Game of Thrones didn't have any women in the writing room or something. They didn't have any female directors. They, I don't know, like they didn't have like a person of color on the writing staff probably. So it's just like, hopefully things will get better and will improve. And if you go on Twitter, like you'll just see all this ridiculous stuff going on all the time, right? So, yeah, my mom does that. I was always wondering if she is frying her hair. Well, it was funny too, because the same play that we did, they also would have they had a frying pan that they would put like lard in, and then they put like the bread into it and fried in the lard. It was funny because it was the same show, or I think it was the same show. So the same show we were doing the ironing of the hair with the grease, then they were also cooking like frying bread in the frying pan at the same time. So I thought that was really interesting. What is Oaktown Girl saying? Sadly, I think the issue that they just don't care or give it any importance at all. Well, they should. They should give it importance.
It sucks.
Oh, you thought so? I didn't think this wig was that bad. I thought it was okay. One of the things that... Sorry, go ahead, Tatiana.
Sorry, I was just saying we've seen worse.
I think something that someone always says about the show is that they didn't have like pomade or something back then, so everyone's hair is a little bit frizzy. They didn't have gel. Where is that picture of him again?
I'm pretty sure if they would have went over to the Summer Isles or even to Noth, places like that, they would have had some treatments for melanated hair.
Yeah,
they could have.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was pretty handsome, this guy, by the way, before it was, squashed. But
before he got half his face beat in.
Yeah. That dude's got some anger management issues.
So did we get to see Mushroom in this episode?
I mean,
everybody keeps saying he's there.
Really?
Well,
you didn't see him?
Among the musicians beating a drum, there was a little person there, and he was wearing like red and gold, so people are saying, that is that Mushroom? I mean, he didn't look like a dancer; he looked like a musician, but maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and exactly what S. Edwards just said. Yeah, they had braids, they had different oils. Yeah.
Of course, like even in the Grecians used, the Grecians, the Romans, they had
coconut oil, but like oil.
Like,
absolutely.
Was that, we've had two little persons in the show. We had the guy in the play, and then we had the musician. Sorry, is that what's the politically correct term for? Is it a little person? Yeah, it is a little person.
So far, as far as I know, it's little person.
I am kind of worried that they're not going to have Mushroom, but unless they have him in the flash forward.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be pointed out at all. To be honest with you.
I mean, I think the showrunner said that.
Oh, really?
Mushroom would make an appearance. I think I've heard on the grapevine, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe he comes back in 10 years later.
Oaktown Girl, I think we kind of agreed that he was kind of an idiot there. Like, you don't know this person. I keep like talking about stranger danger, like in Lord of the Rings. I'm like, girl, you're like, you're going up to a dude that just crash landed. You're going up there, and I'm like, dude, like, go away from there, like stranger danger. So I feel like there's a little bit of that here.
Honestly, I don't think it was a bit dumb, but I think Joffrey approached Kristen thinking they were like literally the same, because they were both the paramours of powerful people. And from his own experience, he was okay with that. And since he knew that Kristen was Rhaenyra's paramour, he wrongfully assumed that Kristen was okay with that. He didn't consider facts that really were beyond his knowledge or his control to know. So that's why I don't completely blame him. I mean, there's fault on both sides because it's like, what the hell? Like Kristen should not have. I mean, he should not have slept with Rainier in the first place. And what the fuck was he thinking was going to happen if with all this guilt and shame and all that shit that is like, and again, like you said, she
You
was
really
not
think
gonna
he was
the crown for you, baby,
Joffrey
please.
had
It's
no
not-
reason or right to say anything. No matter what his good intentions were, he had no right or reason to go over there. He brought that on himself.
I mean, he also didn't know Kristen's state of mind, so.
No,
And
it's true.
Kristen
Yeah.
was like, I mean,
Even
again,
more reason for him to shut up.
Well, and also, I mean, like I'm also thinking, like he.
I think
The
he
other
saw it as being an ally, not going crazy, not like, you know, poking the bear. He thought maybe we can get an ally in this.
Mhm.
Wrong.
But the other thing is that I mean, so you know, he knows the story because Elena told him, and he must know that was in confidence that the Rhaenyra told him. So you know, then in a way, he's kind of like betraying the confidence of the confidence. Does that make sense? How come you guys all call him Crispin? I've noticed everyone calls Kristen
I call him
Crispin.
Crispy
Because he don't deserve.
Because he's crispy?
He's Krispy
Because he don't
Kreme.
deserve to have his name said.
Because he's so dumb. He name has changed from person cold to Kree.
He's so
We should
dumb.
do dumb jokes about Kristen.
I mean, he is.
Idiot. Okay, you guys, would you mind talking amongst yourselves for a minute? Because I'm just going to go get a glass of wine.
Watermelon.
Why?
Because I'm an actress.
Oh goodness. Okay, so what did y'all think of once again some stuff starting and Damon dips out and leaves Rhaenyra in the middle of the ruckus again?
I mean, he doesn't finish. He's an impotent motherfucker. Like literally, he comes in being all big dick, like, oh, just gonna try to get me out now, bitch. But the second he confronts Rhaenyra, she's like, oh, you want me? Here I am.
I'm not married yet.
Okay. I'm not married yet. That's gonna be at the end of the week. Kill everybody here. Kill the Kingsguard and take me to Dragonstone. I'm the princess of it. Here I am. Take me, bitch. And he's like,
He can't deal when he's not in control. Yeah, that's exactly
Exactly what he did.
Yep.
He's a big dick, but his dick is actually kind of small. It's a bit flaccid.
Size don't matter if you can't make it finish.
Exactly. Have y'all ever seen Death Becomes Her? It's like when it's like when Meryl Streep tells her husband, "You're flaccid." That's Rhaenyra to Laenor.
Yeah,
It was weird how she was
Damon
thrown to the
literally
ground,
shows
though.
up to start mess and then bounce. Yep.
Because he doesn't know how to deal with consequences. He doesn't know. So when the going gets tough, the tough goes to Baskin Robbins and just slips out.
It wasn't until the second time I watched it to see how Strong comes in and grabs her and takes her back to the banquet table.
Harwin was not playing. He was bodying fools. One shot hits.
Yeah.
Through the whole crowd. Back up.
Yep.
I gotta go get to my
time.
princess.
What's his nickname?
Stir
Breakbreaker.
Breakbones.
Breakbones.
Yep.
Yes, Breakbones.
Although he did not get that name because he was strong. He got that
It's a
name
spritzer.
because Krispy Kreme broke his collarbone and his elbow during a tourney, and they were completely shattered, and that's why he was called Harwin Breakbones, because
We're
had
getting
broken-
that scene.
I
I think
think
we're gonna
we're
get
gonna
that scene next episode.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, wasn't Joffrey supposed to actually be injured in the tourney, and then he's in bed for a few weeks, and then he passes away? Isn't
I don't
that
remember
originally
what
happened to
him.
him?
Yeah. It's supposed to be like that. That there was a melee happening between various knights, and and Krispy Kreme. I'm not gonna call him Krispy anymore. His name is Krispy Kreme from now on. And Mr. Crispy, he he mortally wounds Joffrey, and he's bedridden for like 9 days without waking up, and then he passes away.
Yeah, but and then and Laener's by his side.
And because it was a melee and not a goddamn wedding rehearsal, because this is not even the wedding, this is the wedding rehearsal.
Yeah.
It was more forgivable because it was during a tournament and people just kill each other everywhere in time, all the place. So if goddamn Krispy Kreme could have waited until the next day, he could have just killed the motherfucker.
Well, I was thinking that probably to save on money, like, because, he announced that they're going to have a tournament and all this kind of thing. And to save on money for the show, they thought, okay, let's just, like, tighten everything up into this, one epi and have a wedding, have a bloody wedding, a wedding like, we always expect it. Yeah, I know, because I was I was thinking if that was like her wedding rehearsal gown, I wonder what her real gown would have looked like. That's what I was wondering. But they kind of made it look like a wedding gown. Yeah, and they had her, and they had the robe ready to go. They had it all set. Her, the wedding.
Speaking of the wedding, they couldn't even wait. This is supposed to be a week-long thing. Nah, they just went ahead and wrapped that up that night before the blood was even cleaned up.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, eh?
I mean, that's symbolism, because the rat comes in to mop up the blood.
The gray rat comes in to lick up the blood. Yep.
Okay, so before we go on, let's talk about Allison making her grand entrance in her pretty green gown. She's very green and pretty.
There were so many. I love it.
It was funny. I have to laugh. I'm going to mention this probably in my video, but so I was watching behind the scenes, and I had to laugh at Miguel Sapochnik because he says, so anyway, Allison wears a green gown. I don't know if anybody's going to catch that. And I'm like, Miguel, we're not morons.
Like, bro, have you met this fandom, sir?
Seriously.
It's like, excuse you.
They even say
okay. We know more than you do.
No, I didn't notice the green gown, Miguel. Like,
not even though there was
a costumey person, you're going to notice it.
Even though you make a very dramatic mention of it. Well, in her
exactly
right.
So AU is that part about them lighting the torch in the green glow, a sign of the banners or what have you. I got it completely butchered. That is that true in of Old Town?
Yeah, the Tide Tower in Old Town. Mm-hmm. You remember that part of the story? Well, that's where all the fires and everybody would know what's going on based on the colors that are happening in the High Tower.
And green meant the call to war.
It's kind of like the bells or
the
they
Pope
have at the wall, the horns at the wall.
The horns, yeah.
Same thing, if you had one shout, it was one thing, and two shouts, it's another. Same way with High Tower.
Yeah, and let's not forget that she interrupted Viserys in the middle of his speech. She does not give a damn anymore for anything that man is doing. Mm-hmm. She very calculatedly put on that dress. We will never see Allison in red again. Mm-hmm. And then this is her firmly drawing the line for her stepdaughter to Annie up.
Well, she didn't even acknowledge Viserys when she sat down. Like, she didn't say, sorry I was late or anything, right? She just totally dissed him, and he knew it.
And he's just helpless through all this. And it's like, honestly, question, during the whole brawl between Joffrey and Krispy Kreme, where were the guards? Where were the guards? Where was the King's Guard at the very least?
All the King's Guard were around the banquet table protecting the king.
Okay, but where were the palace guards in? Because
the gold cloaks?
Or the not even
guards. Like the Targaryen guards.
There should have been other guards on duty.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like people just didn't want to move out the way. Also, like,
I want to say this out loud.
Breakbones had to keep pushing people out of the way.
I want to say this out loud. The beacons of Gondor.
The beacons are lit.
The beacons
for aid.
Well, anyway, I was going to say actually, so the Hightowers who were at the wedding were dressed kind of in a green, like it was a soft green, right? They weren't like black and gold. Like the Valarians actually had kind of were all in the gold, and then the obviously the Lannisters were in the red, and then the Targaryens were in, well, at least Viserys was in black and gold with a little bit of red, maybe. But they were, so the Hightowers were dressed in kind of greeny color.
Yeah, dark green.
But what she did is she wore emerald, which is like
boom. I mean, like Harwin said, the color of the flame that glows on top of the tower when they're getting ready for when they declare war is green.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because the first
that
thing
is
after
also
that,
the color of wildfire.
After the announcement was made, she went right over to the table of the Hightowers.
Yeah.
And greeted
what
them.
I'm gonna say what I like the most about that dress is the deep V, because before that, you don't see no deep V. You see her.
No cleavage.
Oh yeah.
But no, you said plunging neckline, bitch. Why you gonna do about that? I was like, I approve of this message.
Yeah, that was like, I'm going to upstage you gown. That was the fuck you gown, and I'm going to upstage you gown, bitch. That was a statement gown. So the color, the silhouette, the plunging, like, because she's always been piety.
Can you highlight what Oaktown Girl just said?
Oh, where is it?
Fuck Allison.
I love it.
So
I love
true.
it.
I get that, especially okay, I'm not sure what I'm talking about there. Okay. And yeah, so it was just like, so before that, she has had like sort of off the shoulder and stuff. It's not like she's been completely.
She's off the shoulder, but she has not had no plunging neckline.
No cleavage, really.
There's cleavage there for sure.
There's cleavage.
And also she got rid of the, I was saying she always had those little like sort of Targaryen clasps on her other dresses, and now these are totally like 4-leaf gold clover type things. And then now my only thing is, and this is some people, everyone noticed it was a green dress, but people were like, wait a second, why isn't Rhaenyra wearing red and black? And we're like, because it's not that time yet. So they did kind of like spoil it a bit, like, because that is supposed to be this epic, scene.
This wasn't supposed to be the actual wedding.
This isn't that's supposed to be the anniversary, the 5th anniversary, I think, of where they have the tournament and feast, and then that's supposed to be, now we have seen pictures of that though, so we kind of, especially Rhaenyra has this fucking, amazing outfit.
Natural Selection just said a very funny comment there.
Who did?
Yeah.
Natural Selection.
No bras, no panties.
Yeah. Well,
no,
I've already did a video.
She ain't pious no more.
I've kind of put my hands up.
No service.
There's no undergarments in House of the Dragon. Nothing.
No whalebone corsets.
Nothing. No. And of cleavage.
And of cleavage.
Yeah.
Cleavages.
I don't blame her though. If I had a body like that, I would totally rock a dress like that.
Oh,
girl, I'd be barely wearing anything.
Yeah. He did. He did wear a bunch of red. Okay. So, is there going to be anybody who loves Kristen Cole? See, I've never been a lover of him. Like, people are going on about how hot he is, and I'm like, nah, don't see it.
I mean, at the beginning he was cute, but then he just went all pick-me boy, and I'm like, and you're no longer cute.
Even in the sex scene, Heidi, you didn't like that?
No.
Wow.
It took too long.
John, you weren't here for this conversation, but I was kind of weirded out because she's supposed to be 17 and I have a 16-year-old, and that's just always weird for me anyway. Like, I can't watch like young people getting it on. It just feels weird. I have to be watching like Clint Eastwood or something for like Bridges of Madison County is more like.
You want Clint Eastwood to bang a 17-year-old? What?
No. I'm saying like, him and Meryl Streep in Bridges of Madison County. That's more my thing. Or George Clooney, but watching like, I realized the actress herself is in her 20s, but Tony and I were talking about this last week. Like, even with I know everyone was saying, oh, Maisie Williams, she's an adult. And I'm like, but when that, I was like, I can't watch that. That just felt weird to me.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't. And he's kind of like a Jon Snow look for me. And I just don't think Jon Snow is that
Oh,
all that
definitely
hot.
not.
I think
Yeah.
Kit Harington is
At all.
hot. I do think
So
it's
baby,
hot.
yeah, well, especially when you
AK's out of
see,
this conversation.
especially when you see the actor like
I
Fabian
got no
smiling,
input.
he's got a beautiful smile. But I'm just like,
Um,
yeah, no, I'm like Otto Hightower. He's the hot one for me. And actually, no, Risa fans, by the way, if you ever see Notting Hill, oh my God, he is so adorable in that movie. So you guys have to see Notting Hill. If you haven't seen it, please
I
see
still
it.
haven't seen it. Sorry.
He's so great in that. He's adorable. And he played, yeah, I like Hightower smirking. No, I think I'm going to be, Rebecca and I think are both going to be team, who's the guy who carried her out of the,
Harwin.
Harwin. Yeah, we're going
Harwin?
to be team Harwin.
Team
Yeah.
Breakbones.
Tim Harwin.
Break Bones, yeah. He's going to be my guy.
Team Break Them Bones. Like Break Them Boners.
Yeah. Hightower. Ew,
I'm such a-
Otto. I'm just kidding, guys.
I mean, the act is very. Just
I was lusting after the crab feeder, and you guys were okay with
I
that.
mean-
When I mentioned Otto Hightower, and you have an issue.
How did we get to this
Hello.
part of the conversation?
Your pleasure, Obi-Wan.
we
So that
went
makes
off the
sense.
rails on that one.
It's the crab
You
feeder.
like the dude with grayscale?
Yeah. Oh,
He's
and
barnacle for your pleasure.
I told you, yes, he's barnacle for your pleasure. And you can buy full body stockings. With condoms.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I do have to bow out because I have another stream coming up very soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
Patty-
peace and love,
Oh,
kids.
thanks so
Thank
much.
you for having me,
Thanks so
Heidi.
much, Alicia, for coming.
Thanks.
I
Oh,
really
Love you,
appreciate it.
AK.
I heard you
Hugs.
too.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Bye,
damn, girl.
chat. See y'all
Awesome.
later.
Bye. Thanks so much,
Bye.
Alicia.
Bye.
I gotta disagree on those two. Guys, I'm just having fun with you. Heidi wants to see Otto's Hightower. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Anyway,
Good one,
so
Carl.
okay, so Alicia's leaving before we get to talk about the whole scene. Okay, well, we were sort of talking about where were the guards, everything. What did you guys, when you heard all the yelling and things, what were your thoughts? What did you think was going? I thought there was a fire that broke out or something. I was like,
I
is there a
thought
fire? What is going? Did a dragon just like attack the castle? Like, what is happening? here? Would you guys
I thought the crab feeder, his ghost, had come back from the dead to get his revenge on Damon, and that's how he pieced out. He just disappeared into the ether with the crab feeder, and then people were just caught in the pandemonium, and Krispy Kreme just took the opportunity of the pandemonium to just kill Joffrey. Isn't that what happened? I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Sure. What about you? What about you, John? John, what
I
did
had
you?
no idea.
Seriously, you
I
had
felt
no
like
idea.
the series at the time, where he's looking,
Yeah,
thinking something's going to happen with his
Sure.
daughter and Damon, and he's just not getting it. So
Oh, should we explain to CD what happened there? CD, have you seen the show? Because we're going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. I'm
it's
over the
super
crab.
simple.
I'm over the crab. By the way, have you guys seen the video of Damon? It's actually
Matt
Matt
Smith?
Smith,
Yeah.
where he's in a video with crabs and he's dancing. It's a sexy dance.
Ugh.
It's so funny. They took. I don't even know what show that was that they took it from, but I saw the original footage of him dancing, and then they took it and then put it in the crab thing. It was so funny. Oh, you have? Okay.
It might have been the vampire movie starts with M. Morbius or something.
Morbius.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, he is. He's in Morbius. That's
Yeah,
right.
he's really good. He's actually one of the good parts.
This is one of the scenes where the editing was a bit off, like Dee's scene with the waifu. They could have told us a bit more explicitly. It was okay. It was Morbius. Okay, he's the bad guy in Morbius, or is Morbius
Yeah.
the bad guy?
They're all bad.
Morbius
guys.
is sort of a bad guy, right? I heard
Yeah,
it's
he's-
terrible.
They're both bad guys.
I heard it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I've heard not good things about it. Apparently, he's one of the better. He's one of the better things in the movie. So
Yeah.
so I've heard.
Sandman is much better.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
I love the
so-
Sandman.
Ugh, so good.
Anyway, so the reason why, I mean, like Crispy Korean he's sort of the whole episode he was really on edge, right? And I
Yeah.
think so it was kind of like the cow is it the cow that broke the straw that broke the camel?
Straw.
I was going to say the cow that broke the straw.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
She's not
I'm
even
having a
drinking yet.
seizure.
Like,
I
Yeah.
just
need to have
started. It's kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. So there's all these things that are leading up to, so he gets rejected by Rhaenyra. Then
He broke
gets-
his
Allison finds
vow.
out.
he
He's
broke
very-
his vows.
He just
I
told
mean,
the
he
queen.
probably would have been okay with it breaking his vow if she had agreed to run away with him, because he'd be like, okay, I risked everything, but at least I have the love of my life. And honestly, when he said, we're in love, I'm like, dude, she's not in love. You're in love, right?
Like, yeah, you like, girl, no, like, shh.
Back up.
Yeah. So it's one-sided. It's unrequited kind of thing. And then he does the big confession. If you want to have me executed, and she doesn't even give him the relief and going, no, it's fine. Like, she's just like, that's it.
Dismissed.
You're dismissed. So she, he's like probably thinking, oh God, she's going to go to her, to her husband, the king, who knows what's going to happen there. Although I didn't get that sense of it. And then to have to then watch the love of his life at her potential wedding. Then just to have that guy come up to him and say,
I know your secrets. That's
Yeah.
the part that drove him
That-
crazy.
so that's what set him off. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
The other
he
thing-
said we're in love. He said we're in love. He did
I-
say
I-
that on the boat. He said we're in love.
Honestly, he said it. I think it was more his guilt speaking than his love for her. For me, it was just he feels guilty and he wanted his vow breaking his oath breaking to mean something.
Yeah.
And not have just been for nothing. He might have said we're in love to try to convince her to run away, but I don't think he was in love. That was just if it was just puppy love. It wasn't
Yeah.
like love.
Yeah. I think he was in love with the idea of her. Yeah.
Exactly. Like
He's obviously not a regular Dornish guy.
No.
That's the
no,
No.
he's from the Stormlands. I mean, they say he's Dornish, but I think if he was Dornish, he grew up in the Stormlands because he fought the Dornish.
Yeah, because I just thought it was strange that, or unusual. I shouldn't say strange. I just thought it was unusual that he said, "I be your whore," as opposed to saying, "I be your paramour," because and this is, just in terms
You're not
of
getting
language.
paid.
Yeah,
right?
but also women are typically whores. Like, I've never seen whore used for a man before. Like, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
there's man whore.
Well, maybe in a modern sense
Context. Yeah.
context, but I just have never seen, like, I don't even think there technically was a name for a man who's paid for sex that I know of. I could be wrong.
He was also suicidal by that point, so he was
I think
not.
I think he was like despondent. I think that there's something wrong with
And
him.
after that, he went to the Godswood and was prepared to commit seppuku. And if it wasn't because of Allison, he would have done it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I've heard that because he went to the Godswood instead of like somewhere else, like that they're arguing, is he maybe a follower of the old gods? Maybe he was like trying to make his oath breaking mean something by sacrificing his life to the gods type thing, because in the olden days, the first men they did blood sacrifices to the trees and would like put corpses of their enemies on the trees so they could like
Drink the
make
blood.
good.
No, CD, he's not the father of those children.
No,
Is that a spoiler? I won't say who is, but he's not.
he's not. He's very firmly Team Green.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
find-
It'll be interesting to see if he takes up with Allison. Do you think that will happen, or you don't think that will happen? Like,
I
I'm assuming
don't.
she's gonna take a lover eventually.
I already know
I
the
mean-
book, so I'll stop. I won't comment either way.
Okay. Okay. I don't remember that being in. I read the book. I don't remember it though. Good point. Not Dornish at all. Well, he's not Dornish in the book, right? They've added that for the show.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I got confused because he was fighting in Dorne.
Oh,
Not
thanks, so town girl.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she says he look. I mean, when Rhaenyra sees him, she says he looks Dornish. So that's why I say maybe one of his parents was Dornish, but he grew up in the Stormlands and he fought
Yeah.
the Dornish in the
Right.
border.
Yeah.
That was my mistake.
No, I think I did read in the Wikia or something that he is part Dornish, as you say. So, because they cast, I'm assuming Fabian is a Hispanic actor. Because they've kind of gone with at least with Pedro Pascal, and then although they went with like what's her name, she's Indian, so they've gone with like a little bit, lighter brown complexion. For
Yeah,
the
like olive skin.
olive
Olive
skin.
skin.
Yeah. So
Honestly, when I was little, I always thought that when people said they were olive skinned, I was like, but you're not green.
I know it is weird, isn't it? It is weird to say olive skin. It is like it's like I know. I don't really understand it either, to be honest with you. Carl's it's not Fabian. He's French.
Oh, he is. Wow, that's a
Frankel? I thought he was Spanish.
Oh, he is.
He's French. In Japan, there were tons of young male prostitutes like Shudo.
Oh, yeah.
Tea house boys, etc. They were so popular the government had to shut them down. Never changed Japan.
Yep.
His dad was an actor too, similar looks. Mark Frankel was his name. Fabian is French Jewish. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I just thought he looked
Thanks, Carl.
I thought they were trying to go the Pedro Pascal kind of route. Like, Pedro Pascal, I think is Mexican.
Chilean.
Oh, it's Chilean. Sorry.
Yeah.
By the way, I love Pedro so much.
I was gonna say
he's so good in The Mandalorian.
I think you should go with Pedro much more than Otto.
Yes. Love Pedro Pascal.
Okay, now I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused because I'm reading. I mean, maybe it's because
Wow.
Wikipedia.
Okay. His mother is French, but he's Jewish and Indian ancestry.
Oh, and he was born in, but he was born British. He just has like different ethnicities in him.
Yeah, Chilean. Sorry. Yeah, but what's her name? Who plays his paramour? She's actually Indian, a British Indian. So I don't know. They were just kind of trying to go. I just saw the casting, but they had a girl who was Maori. They were kind of going, let's find all the light brown people and just put them in Dorne. It's sort of like a little bit of a, I don't know.
Olive people.
Let's find all the olive people and put them
Like
in Dorne.
all the people who are green but not green.
Yep.
Put them in Dorne.
French Jewish by the way of England. Yes, exactly.
Yes. Anyway, I'm just saying, he's kind of like a Jon Snow kind of like I don't know, they kind of look similar to me.
Small.
They have the long brown hair and
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, I love Jon Snow. I love him as character and I love the actor. I just like it's just like, hey, it's not my thing, man.
Yep.
It's not my thing.
We all have things. Yep.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I think the actor is doing a great job. Like I think he's doing an incredible job. I think the whole cast is great. By the way, what do you like? Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you guys think of the acting in the show? I'm Tatiana. This is more your wheelhouse, but what do you think of the acting so far?
So good. A toast to the ladies who are leaving. They did an amazing job. Queens, you did your job. You got your cash and you earned it. Work, you whores. Mm-hmm.
I have to say, you know what? I wouldn't have had a problem if they had done all of season one with I said all of season one with this young cast, and then switched it next season. I know they're saying they have to get things going and everything, but I wouldn't have had a problem staying with them for
Yeah,
till the end of the
if they had
season.
like aged them up a bit with like prosthetics or
Yeah,
I mean, as long
yeah.
as it's not CGI, because CGI can look.
Janky. Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that they would do the time leap, but like that say they would take us to the end of the season. We would see her what's going on with young Rhaenyra and Laenor, and then we would see a little bit what's going on with Daemon and then all the stuff going on between. So now we're going to have this huge time leap. So we're going to have, unless they're doing some flashbacks, it's going to be interesting to see how they tackle all of this stuff, because now we're going to have, it's kind of like Lord of the Rings. After episode 2, you had all these new characters. You're like, holy, okay, sorry, who's that now, and who's that? And so there's going to be a flood of new characters in the next episode, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm most excited to see Lena have a bigger role, because just a little bit that we saw here was fucking fabulous. She
Yeah.
was just like, she knew what she wanted and she was going to get it. It's like, had them and boo. And she didn't even know that he was coming. He just showed
Yeah.
up. She looked at him. He was like, and that's my man.
But I think
And
they've
that's
changed the
what I-
actor. I think they've got a different actor for the next episode for
No,
her.
I don't think so. I think it's the same person. They just changed of her like hair.
Yes, we
I
did talk
think.
about her dress, and we talked about how, here, I've got pictures of it here if you want to look at it. We talked about Allison's dress and how it was, a statement gown, and it was green, like the tower, the smoke in the tower. Sorry, John was explaining it better than I can. I don't know.
It's not hard to
The
explain.
flame, the color, the green flame,
Sure.
which is to call your banners or something, like that was an act of war.
So someone in the chat said it was the color of the wildfire that we saw from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that being mentioned, but I'm sure that has something to do with it. But yeah, if you're being called to war, that's a great way to get all of the regional houses in. Just like any other region, they would need to have an immediate way to get everybody there.
Lady Starfall saying, some say that the clubfoot may be able to shapeshift. What do you think? AU? They say he hung around Harrenhal a lot and learned things from the green men. What do you think of that?
Yeah, we talked about him not being club-footed,
Yeah.
and it just being a fake, and him using that as a way to hang around the women, which has the gossiping thing going.
Oh, you think he's
and
faking it?
I do. I
Oh,
really
no way.
do.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I don't think he's club-footed at all. I think it's, like I said, he's just the creepy version of Littlefinger. Like Tatiana said earlier, the combination of Littlefinger and Varys is Larys.
And
so
Give him a warm tongue. Don't forget
it's
him a warm
perfect.
tongue.
I thought
It was
great.
funny. There was a joke on Twitter about Kristen, getting reprimanded and then put on leave, and then come back because you're going. Sorry, how is he going to come back? He bludgeoned someone to death, and then it'll be.
Well, not only that, but he actually hit Larys or Lyanna. So I don't know how that's even possible for him to stay alive.
Yeah. Again, so I guess like we're not going to see the fallout from this unless they do flashbacks. Because I was wondering, someone was saying we might see the younger actors in flashbacks.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. DeHay is. I was asking, is the Rainey's actress, not Rainey's, sorry, is the Lena actress different? I thought it was a different actress.
They're both different, Allison and
Rhaenyra, but the Lena and Laenor, are they different?
yes,
apparently Lena is.
Definitely.
I mean, I think
I saw a pic. I don't know if it was in the preview, but I saw there's a scene with her and Damon, and I was like, I think that's a different actress. I mean, the hair is the same.
I mean, with
the long curl.
They're 10 years older, so they got it.
Yeah, because she's supposed to be. Because in the she's supposed to be younger than Rhaenyra, right? Like she's like
she's like the youngest of all of the four.
Yeah,
the four
so
youngsters.
Laenor, I think, is in the books. I think Laenor is actually younger than Rhaenyra.
Well,
but in the show, I think he's older than her.
No, actually, I think he's younger because we see him in the first episode, and he's fairly younger than
yes. So he's
Rhaenyra.
that's right. So he's a little kid when they're at the tourney, and she's really little as well. And then we see him in the battle, and he is like, I don't know, he would be then 14 or something in the battle for the Stepstones, and then whereas she's 12. And then we go to the future, and then she's like, so I guess she's supposed to be like maybe 15. She's because if Rhaenyra is 17. It's so hard. I can't keep track of it. Someone should do a video on this. I think probably they did. They probably did a video on all the
I'm sure 10 people have done a video.
Oh yeah, big toe conspiracies. That's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, there are theories that Larys is a green seer and that he's manipulating the rats around the castle to get his information. Because I mean, according to the book, he's a master of whispers, but to the extent that he makes Varys look like a complete dumbass. He's apparently the type of master of whispers of like Brynden Rivers, like
Gotcha.
height, and you know that Brynden Rivers, it was like the most famous like master of whispers because he was a green seer and he could, he knew how to play the board. He was the master of the board.
Right.
I was going to say, sorry, at the beginning of this live stream, I was mentioning that there might be some show spoilers, even book spoilers. So I know there are people in the chat who are talking about things, and I have to say, like, to be fair, they have showed everything in the trailers and in the teasers and stuff, so we kind of know all these things are coming. So that's why I was saying I would have been happy to have the rest of this season, because there's only 5 episodes left, just stayed with the young cast and flesh it out longer. I don't know. I just don't know what, like, for me, I don't know what the big rush is. I feel like they could have easily have stayed with this young cast, and I would have been really happy with that.
Because they want the Dance with the Dragons to start next season.
Right.
That's it.
But then
there's nothing really that happens between now and when the tournament happens. So
I mean, they're outside of like, well, I'll say it next episode because spoilers for the next episode.
Well, I was just saying people are already talking in the chat, so it's just, that's just my opinion. I just think I would have liked to have been to see it fleshed out a little bit longer. Like, I totally would have been happy if they had done like the tourney. I was saying I would have been happy if they had done that and had all that stuff in there and spent more time with the young cast and got to know them a bit better. I would have just really have liked it. But
Lady Starfall was talking about Clubfoot. Him being a shapeshifter. But you've got to remember, Varys was an actor, so he played different things to get around and look like a natural person in that environment. And we've seen in previous episodes where you see people behind doors or behind a curtain, and that's him. And that's why I don't think he's club-footed, because if he was able to get around, he'd be able to get into those positions much more so and not be seen than if he had a cane and he couldn't walk.
One of the things Jack, my husband, was saying is that some of his friends were saying that they found House of the Dragons to be kind of like Succession with dragons. And because we haven't really gotten into the magic and stuff like that, John, are you hoping to see some, besides the dragons, and also we haven't really had a lot of the dragons, are you hoping to see some more, aside from palace intrigue and backstabbing and all that, are you hoping to see some magic enter the show? Oh, you're not?
No,
okay.
I'm really not expecting anything. This is more of the Knots Landing
Oh, John, you just aged yourself. Donna Mills and all that.
exactly.
Wait,
Yeah.
It's like Knots Landing is kind of like a 1980s prime time.
Like Dallas.
Like
Yeah.
Dallas, like
Yeah.
Dynasty.
It was a spin-off of Dallas. Actually.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking Rhaenyra and Allison are kind of like Alexa and Crystal from Dynasty. I was sort of seeing,
Yep.
and then Viserys
Alexa.
is like the husband, kind of. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like Dan. Yeah, Jeff said the same thing. That's how I was sort of seeing
That's
it. Yeah.
perfect.
Peyton Place. That's really old, by the way. Peyton Place.
Yeah.
Did she drink the tea though? Great question. Well, I think she must have.
I think she did because it was a few. I think some time passed between her betrothal to Laena and the wedding because it takes a while to plan a huge wedding, especially a huge wedding that lasts 7 days. So it's probably like a few months later. She would have been showing already if she didn't, or if she was pregnant.
Yeah, if she was pregnant, it's just kind of like someone was saying it was like it's the Plan A. What's that thing called?
Plan T.
Plan T.
Plan
Plan
T.
T. Yeah. So it's just like a just in case. It was a just in case. Like she may not have gotten pregnant. Some people think you can get pregnant all the time, but that's not true. You can't. I'm just saying that as someone who knows.
From experience, yeah.
From experience, doesn't always work.
No.
Especially when you're trying to have a baby.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think House of the Dragon could have been interesting with the same backstage interviews for the characters, kind of like how they do reality shows. Oh, that'd be funny if they broke the fourth
that would
wall.
be fabulous.
That'd be so funny. Yeah,
very
I would love that. Yeah.
Very what they do with the shadows.
I think Clubfoot is kind of like Whispers, right? He just has his spies out there, doesn't he?
He
John?
probably sits in the kitchen listening to all the
Yeah.
orders that are asked. Yeah.
It's it reminds me of Groundhog Day. Like she's like, how do you know so much? He goes, well, it's not that I know a lot. It's just that I've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably like that. He's just probably lurking and sitting and listening and,
Lurking, I love that word.
and no one's going to notice him, right? No
Right.
one's going to pay attention to him.
He's not a threat,
Yeah.
right?
He's not a threat.
He's
Mhm.
mild-mannered.
He's a mild-mannered. He has a cane. He has a clubfoot. What harm could this person do? And
He's very polite, and he wants to sit with the women. Come
He does.
on.
Yeah. Oh, would you mind if I sit here and rest my weary self? Yeah.
My foot is hurting me again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just
And
have.
sort of-
I just discreetly eat this tasty little morsel.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's playing it, and they're probably like, oh, the poor soul, pity him kind of thing, but really he's using it, he's manipulating them, right? And if John is right, oh, that'll be so fun, by the way, if there's a reveal scene, kind of like what's that
You see him
movie called?
dancing.
You see him dancing. No, I was
In his
thinking,
room.
what's that movie called with Kevin or no, what's it called?
Wine?
No, sorry. It's a really good movie. Oh, what's his name? It's not Kevin Kline. Oh, it'll come to me.
Kevin Spacey?
No.
Bacon?
Sorry. I don't even think it's Kevin. He's in House of Cards. What's his name? Kevin
Spacey. Kevin
Oh, yeah.
Spacey is the villain in House of Cards.
Yes. So Kevin Spacey.
And the villain
sorry.
in the one, he was a gigantic asshole.
What's the one where he pretends he has a clubfoot, but he doesn't?
I don't know. I have not
The
seen
Big
it.
Lebowski? No, that's not it. Anyway, it'll come to me. Yeah. So it turns out like he's pretending to be a cripple the whole time, right? In the movie. And then by the end of it, you realize he's actually the evil mastermind behind the whole thing. He's Kaiser Soze or whatever it's called.
Kaiser Soze.
Kaiser Soze. What movie is that?
I have not seen that movie,
Sorry,
but I
guys.
know what you're talking about.
Someone in the chat will know. Kevin, I've lost it again.
The Usual Suspects.
The Usual Suspects, yes. Okay, so in
Thank
The
you,
Usual
Jeff.
Suspects, thank you. He pretends that he's a cripple, and then no one suspects him because she's just like, oh, he's stupid, he's an idiot, and they bring him in for questioning, and he manipulates the police officer the whole time. And then by the end of it, he's limping, and then they show him straighten out. And then you see, he was behind the whole thing the whole time. And then he's gone. Kaiser Soze, thank you. Kevin Spacey, usual specs, Kaiser Soze. Thank you. Tatiana helped there.
I didn't.
Anyway, so it would
Jackson.
be interesting, as if AU was talking about, if they showed a scene where he goes back to his room or something and he takes off that thing and he's totally fine, he's dancing or something. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love that.
Him and Mushroom.
And he's asking why Rhaenyra had the three bastards, the three non-Targaryen looking kids.
We have to wait. I don't know if we should talk about that. It's
I mean, I think we should wait for next.
Yeah, we'll wait till
episode
next week. Yeah, I don't want to give it away if you guys don't know. You'll find out.
Spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. So what I was going to say is one of the things I wanted to say, it was funny on Jeremy Johns, I was mentioning to you, he was like, Krispy Kreme, what are you doing? Don't tell her. What are you thinking? But the other thing he was saying is the guy who's the Hand of the King, the new Hand of the King, is that guy not the most upstanding individual? And he's probably and it's not going to go well for him, because Jeremy Johns was saying, if I was going to pick a Hand of the King, that's who I would pick. That guy, all his advice is good. He gives really great advice. It's very sound. It's all very reasonable. And so you think, okay, what's going to happen to this poor guy? I have a picture of him here. You guys will tell me what his name is. I forget. Is he Harwin's father? Not. Oh, that's Harwin, right? Breakbones?
Yeah, that's him. Next to Laris.
Not him. This guy.
Yeah.
This guy I love this guy. And so Jeremy's like, I would pick this guy to be the Hand of my King. But of course, this is Westeros. And, what you think is a reasonable thing to do is probably not the most reasonable thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But has this guy not been super solid as...
Yep.
Yeah, I love him.
Money.
Yeah, I think it's good.
How he could produce someone like Laris?
Exactly.
Oh, so he's Laris's father. Okay, now I've got
Right,
it. Okay.
right.
He's Harwin and Laris's father. Okay.
Yeah.
So he has a hot son and a son who's pretending to be
and a snacky snack for
Yeah.
another one. The snack. I'm gonna call. Laris is no longer Laris the Clubfoot. He's Laris the Snacky Snack.
Snake.
Yeah. He's a decent
That's
man.
awesome.
But remember what happened to decent men. Yes, this is what I was just
True.
saying. Look at Ned Stark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, although Ned didn't again, he was kind of an idiot when it came. No, he was do you not think I love Ned Stark? Don't get me wrong, but he thought he was oh, Cersei, you and your children should just leave, and and then what we he just didn't play that very well, as far as I'm concerned.
He knew that he had to worry about Lannister men, but not
Mm-hmm.
Lannister women.
Yes.
That's the problem. And that's the other thing about Laris, is that you don't expect it, but he's right there.
Yeah, I kind of and so just because these people are, it's funny because when I was saying I did read Fire and Blood, and my takeaway was, wow, these people are all really awful. They kind of deserved it. I just sort of came away from that. And honestly, it kind of makes you say, oh yeah, Cersei was onto something when she just basically torched the whole place, with green fire. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Ned. Love Ned. He was honorable but dumb. Honorable but dumb. We should get that as a t-shirt.
I mean, he also wasn't trained in politics. Let's be fair.
No, that's
he was
true,
not,
yeah.
because he like Viserys is not the firstborn son.
Yeah, exact. That's a great point.
Because Brandon was supposed to be
Yes.
heir, but
Yeah.
shit happened.
Oh, the Starks.
So he had to make it work as he went along.
I think, this is the thing. If you're an honorable person, I think you think that when you're dealing with other people, I think this is how most people think. Most people think, I'm a good person, therefore you just assume everyone else is a good person. So when you encounter someone who is manipulative and, crazy and, I don't know, gaslighting you and doing all these weird things, it probably comes a bit of a shock. Whereas if you yourself are kind of a manipulative person, like a Cersei Lannister or something like that, she learned to be manipulative, then you're just going to be like, you're going to be able to handle it. You're going to be able to. So this is the thing that's sort of sad about this world, is that no one good, ever does well, it seems. But what I think is interesting about House of the Dragon is that it's kind of like Walter White, like the characters, there's a lot of gray there. There's a lot of like morally ambiguous, moral compass is not exactly, so you can still root for some of them. Like, for instance, I kind of root for Damon. Like, I'm like, he's a psychopath. Really, but I kind of root for him at the same time. Like, I kind of, like, I didn't really like the killing of his wife. Up to that point, I was like, I'm with you, dude. That part I didn't like, but at the same time, I do, in a little bit of a weird way, root for him. It's sort of strange how that all works.
Is it because he's transparent?
Yeah, I guess he's an open book. He's, what you see is what you get. Like, there's nothing. Yeah, exactly. He's charismatic, maybe. He's interesting. He's not dull.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think?
I like his japes. He's very funny. But as far as, again, George loves writing gray characters, and this is one of his grayest because, like you said, he is a Targaryen. He feels like his brother's being jerked around, so he's trying to do the best for his brother. So you admire him for that, but then he does something stupid like kill his wife. I mean, yeah, that's not very good.
Yeah, like, he had his moments, like, for instance, at the funeral of his sister-in-law, I guess.
Right.
The way he speaks to Rhaenyra is really kind, and
honors her
and mothers her, and then even says to her, like, why don't you, go talk to your dad, kind of thing. And that at the wedding, he says, "Is this really what you want?" Although, like, she's like, "Well, what am I supposed to do?" Like, I mean, he probably, if she said, "Take me away," he probably would. He probably would take her away. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Tatiana, what do you think of Damon as a character?
He is an enigma wrapped in a puzzle, wrapped in a labyrinth, wrapped in a tall man with surprisingly good hair.
Especially from the side.
Especially from the side.
And if you look closely, he does have eyebrows, but you just have to zone in a little bit.
A little bit. Also, also, just so you know, there has been a bit of an argument in the chat about Rhaenyra's kids.
Mm-hmm.
If
I don't want to say anything because
guys,
spoiler.
Okay, if you want to argue, but this is not an argument. This is not a discussion we're gonna have in this episode.
Yeah,
that is for next episode. We can get into it. Like, and also, please, everyone, respect y'all's opinions. Don't disrespect anyone by control. So just politely.
Are you sure they're not kidding?
We'll discuss.
No, they're not.
They're not. And please,
okay.
Please be respectful. And we will be discussing this issue around Rhaenyra's kids next episode. We will get into it, and we'll each give our opinions respectfully. Thank you.
I was saying, like, Matt Smith, actually, I saw him, God, he's such a cutie. I saw him on the Tonight Show. And yeah, like, he, even though he has dark hair, he actually doesn't really have eyebrows. So I don't know. It's just maybe, unless they shave them for the show, and then he just doesn't have them. But
another worm tongue reference. No eyebrows.
Yeah, I don't know. Because some people were like, why didn't they give him eyebrows? Like, they could have pasted some on, but I think naturally he doesn't really have them. But I did, last episode, I showed a close-up of him, and you could just see a couple of the hairs there. So he does technically have
goes with the white hair, I guess.
Damon is an angel. He doesn't do anything wrong. Well, George says he's a rogue if he ever saw one. That's the Rogue Prince, right? That's what it's based off. He's a rogue.
Mm.
Yeah, he doesn't have eyebrows much. So so if they had given him eyebrows, they would have had to have actually put eyebrows. It's like me. I don't really have much eyebrows. My mom, like when we were young, she used to, John, you probably remember this in the old days. Maybe your mom did this. My mom would draw like eyebrows on, like kind of like, and they would do them quite thick
My
back then.
my mom's Italian, so we never had to draw any eyebrows.
Oh, you never had to draw. But
I
now
know
I'm
what you're
seeing,
talking about. Yeah.
so they use eyebrow. They call it eyebrow pencil. So like
Sure.
Joan Crawford is kind of like the extreme, right? But my mom did. So I have pictures of my mom, from
Was
the
she blonde
40s.
naturally?
No, she was. Her hair is kind of like my color, like
Wow.
kind of like a brunette. And but I don't know what it is. We just didn't get eyebrows. Like none of my aunts had them either. They're just like really thin. So and I've just never really. The no eyebrows look is always off-putting, like pink in the wall. I love strong eyebrow game like Cersei. The more Vulcan, the better, I say. That's really awesome. I love that. Well,
I mean,
you know what I'm going to do? So
You
go
would
ahead,
love
Tatiana.
Latinos because Latinos tend to have very thick eyebrows.
Yeah.
I have, this is considered thin. So,
You've been working on them, huh?
all my life.
Okay, so I don't know if we have much else to talk about. Is there any much else we have to say? Like we had the bludgeoning. We had what do you guys? Oh, let's just.
I
talk
like
about
the
last thing.
dance. The dance.
Oh, the dance. Yeah, do you
Before
want to talk about the dance?
how
Hey.
yeah. I mean, and we didn't really talk that much about Rhaenyra's wedding dress. I mean, if we go into like detail, like I at first, if you like see from the trailers, I thought it wasn't like really that big to speak of, but when it's a dress that you have to look closer into to really appreciate it, and I enjoy those types of costumes so much because it helps me to study a garment, and I like the dragon scale fabric with like the little teeth around the seams, and I loved the chains around on her arms going up, and it's like I started out being very mad about this dress, but I ended up loving it, and I love it. I also love the like the Byzantine necklace. So this
she
dress
actually wears that necklace. She actually wears it
in
with
the when the fealty.
Is it really the
No, I think it was in the fealty scene in season 1.
Oh, I thought she was wearing it here. Oh, this is different?
No, that's
different. Is that a different necklace?
Yes. I think she wears that necklace in episode 1, in episode 1. When they're the fealty scene.
Yeah, I agree. John, I agree. It kind of did remind me of the Knight's Tale. So they didn't play modern music. They played like
Sure.
Oh my god, if they had played fucking Golden Years, I would have screamed Golden Years. Oh my god, I love
You wanted them to twerk? The dance?
I wanted them to twerk. They needed to twerk.
Yeah. I love that they go, hey. it was like
the most exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the plate breaking, everybody going, oh yeah. Incidentally, twerking is what I did when our power came back after the hurricane. I started twerking like her. I was like, yeah.
That's a great point, Day. As far as the necklace goes.
What does that mean?
The best.
Damon gave her a Valyrian
Oh yes.
steel
Oh, sorry.
necklace
Yeah, she wasn't wearing his necklace. Yes.
with the 3 circles.
Yeah. But yeah, she had that special necklace and the best robe. Yeah, the robe was really beautiful. I have a picture of that on my Twitter, by the way, of the robe. It's like got the Targaryen sigils on the one side, and then it's got the Velaryon like seahorse on the other side. And it's really beautifully made. The one thing that was weird though, I have to look at this a little bit more, is from this where is it here? I was a little bit confused about it. If I can find the picture. Sorry, the picture. I have to look in StreamYard and see if there's a way I can get these pictures bigger, because like they just look like tiny little thumbnails for me. Is it this one? No.
They look perfect from here.
They don't look like little tiny pictures to you? Not on
Yeah.
the screen, but just on the side. Can
On
you
the
see them on the
StreamYard picture, it looks great. Actually, online, it looks great too. Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
it looks
Here.
fantastic.
Okay, I'm confused about this because this is a different cloak. This is the one she wore for the fealty, when everybody came and pledged their
Oh,
fealty to her. So I was confused why she's wearing this one here in this
well,
picture.
It almost
this.
looks identical.
Well,
It's the
no,
same one. The other one's
it's
black on one side and then
because she had. I mean, she had the
blue on the
the
other
thing,
side.
right? The thing with the house sigils.
Yeah, so I don't. So I'm kind of. So I don't know. So this is just.
Honestly, I think it was just like because this happened real quick, and they didn't have the cape ready, the actual cape for the wedding, so they just like, here, take this, put it over yourself. You're married. Great.
No, but there's a shot where they show her actually wearing it though. She is actually wearing it. So I don't know this I found this on this still on the website, and I'm thinking that maybe this wasn't actually used in the show. This is just like they put this on her and then
Gotcha.
Oh, maybe.
this isn't actually what she wears.
Took
She
a
wears
picture and moved
it's
on.
two-sided. It's like black on one side and then blue on the other side. So it's got the Valarian on one side and it's got I have it on my Twitter. Tatiana, I'll send it to you later and you'll see what I
Okay.
mean. But it's I wonder if I can find it for you. Anyway, well, we're gonna probably wrap it. So what else, Tatiana? What else did you want to say? There was one other thing you wanted to talk about. We want to talk
The
about
dance.
Kristen. Oh, the dance. Yes.
Yes, the dance. I like the dance.
Mhm.
It looked like fun, and I love that. And the oh my god, the foreshadowing about how the dance is like a battle.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, could you be any more obvious?
Yeah.
Are you getting this? Dance equals battle. Anybody? Can you hear me? Great. Glad you got it.
And also, what did you think about the way like Viserys was really pissed and he's eating his chicken, like he's ripping it apart, like he's like really he was really angry.
You must hate that chicken.
My wife interrupted my speech. Now my brother is cornered my daughter at her own wedding rehearsal. He was mad. Because at first, like from the trailers and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, Viserys looks really happy. He's like, finally, I can marry off this daughter and have that all this business settled. But then, it's just like, oh, great.
And
I mean, I saw this in a comment in a video. I was like, what we need when the brawl started, it's like what we need right now is our favorite homeboy, King Bobby B, coming in and saying, "Stop this madness in the name of your king!" Like, yeah! That's what we needed.
Yeah.
You know how to stop a fight, right?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think he just grabbed her face.
Right.
And Viserys angry eating his turkey leg. Yes, exactly. And he's like, I'm gonna tear into this turkey leg, and then I'm gonna force my daughter to have a shotgun wedding, and then immediately drop.
Pass out.
Yeah, and let the audience think that maybe I've died. Except then you'll see the preview and know that I'm.
Dumb last question, but why does Christian Cole not have his helmet on, and everybody else does?
So you can see his
So-
face.
I
Because
know,
you can
but
see-
it's so lame.
Well, we need to see his constipation. We
No,
need to see that he is so close to shitting himself that the only
Yeah.
way he can hide his sweetie booty is to kill a person. That's the real actual reason why he killed Joffrey. It wasn't because of Rhaenyra. It wasn't because of other bullshit. It was because he ate some bad shrimp and he was really constipated and he wanted to hide it behind violence.
Yeah, it's this is a Game of Thrones thing. It's like, and actually, I'm in deep defense for Michelle Clapton about this. She says, I try to get hats on people. I try to put helmets on people, but no, the director of photography is like, no, we have to see their faces. We have to see the actors' faces. She goes, I fight them, but no, they. So yeah, was he holding it at least? Did he
Nope.
have it in his arm? I mean, it's the same with John. Why wasn't he wearing his armor on the boat?
Well, that's different. I mean, he'd already done, a long shift, so I could see him And when you're on a boat, you don't want to be weighed down with armor because if you could fall off, you're not going to war.
That's a word I've never seen before.
You never seen construct?
No,
it's very
young people.
They used it in the show.
You know, oh, did they? Okay, you know, in the old days, the C word, you would never, ever, ever, ever say that word, by the way. That was considered probably the most distasteful word you could ever use. But now it's a common thing. I actually there was a guy in a group I was in, he kept saying twat, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not really comfortable with you saying that. What do you mean? We say that all the time. He was from England, and I'm like, yeah, it's just not, I'm not really comfortable. It was a professional group, you know, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really comfortable with you saying that word. But yeah, the C word, we didn't use it. It's like, it's now considered, it's just like a normal word to use. People use it all the time. I think Game of Thrones helped that.
I mean,
Braun made it
fashionable.
fashionable.
I think feminism helped with that a little.
Yeah, it's like, if we're using it, it's okay. Yeah,
it's kind of similar kind of to the N word, where like the black people can use it, non-blacks cannot and should not, and
yeah.
But it's kind of, so the C word is kind of the same. Like we are taking it back and saying it as a symbol of strength. Like there's this YouTube channel that reviews movies that I really love, and they call like fabulous divas, they call them like this fabulous cunts, and they have like a thing called the Fabulous Cunt Island, where all the fabulous women of Hollywood just reside and be fabulous in. So it's like,
yeah. Well, I first experienced the use of that word when I was in college, and this guy who was in my class, he used to call me and my friend smelly cunts.
Wow.
He'd be like, "My smelly cunts, how are you today?" And I'd be like, and I would laugh so hard because he just was, you know, he did it like in a sweet way, but up before that, I would have been like, "Oh my God!" Like you just would never ever use that word. But then like Braun used it so easily in Game of Thrones, it just sort of became like, you know, well. To light a face wearing a hat while trying to keep up the appearance of medieval fantasy, I can see what the problem would be. Well, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, you sometimes, I mean, it's the same with Jon Snow going into battle without a helmet on, right? Or being up north without a hat. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, it's minus 40 degrees.
Right.
Yeah.
Although they gave what was it when that one
Lady Starfall, you are crazy and I love you anyways. That's awesome.
Oh, what did she say? I don't know why I think it's sexy. You mean the word?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better then, because I guess that's what he meant. But when he's calling me a smelly C word, what does that mean? I'm like, does that mean I'm a smelly femme?
You're a smelly queen.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you know, as a middle-aged lady, I'm just saying back in the day that we wouldn't have used it. We would have been drinking our tea and being very polite. But it's the same with casual racism. I'm always like, I'm horrified by casual racism now, because back in the day, you wouldn't, you know, even if you were the most like diehard racist person, you wouldn't come out with stuff like that. But now, it's some reason people just think, oh, that's totally a normal thing to say. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, it would have been like that kind of language would have been like cab drivers, you know, that you're like, okay, I've got to get out of this cab because this person is like clearly nuts. But I mean, use like that. It's not sexy, costumeco. Oh, you mean when you're saying smelly cunt? Yeah, no, that's not sexy.
Not sexy
I don't
at
think.
all.
No, he meant it as an endearment. It was meant as an endearment. You know, like,
very endearing.
Oh, my smelly cunts, how are you? Like he meant it as an endearment, and yeah, that's what I meant.
What a great chat tonight!
Totally awesome chat. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like when we had that one stream where we had the trolls, it was just like so surprising because we have such a great, awesome, group of people. So, and by the way, speaking of great names, Old Dirty Fatty.
Yeah.
I mean, wear that with pride, my friend. Wear that with pride.
You saw that I was on and said, "Hey, this is a great name."
I love it.
Oh, you.
No.
Yeah. It's the same with yeah, I'm always talking about the hat thing. I mean, the only thing that did drive me crazy in Game of Thrones and probably some other shows is like when they're north of the wall and it's like clearly,
And they're wearing light jackets. They're wearing light jackets.
The only one who gets a hat is Gendry or something, and it's a sad hat. It's not even a good hat. It was sort of like sad. He gets kind of like when he runs back.
Oh,
he's wearing.
Yeah.
He's a good runner, that one.
I mean, he had to be to get to the wall that fast.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about this one guy who used this naughty word that I was really like, I'm like, dude, we don't really say that here in Canada. It's but Canadians, we tend to be a little bit more on the polite side. Yeah. He ran so fast. Okay, so let's wrap things up. And I think this is a really great stream. We lost Alicia. We didn't have Rebecca, but she popped into the chat, was awesome, and she's Team Black.
Tatiana had a hurricane.
So Tatiana had a hurricane.
I appeared on the Rings of Power live stream during the hurricane.
She did. I was telling John that. If you're going to have a hurricane, I would prefer that it be a drink, like the one that they serve in New Orleans.
Right.
Like if you're going to do that next time, just have that.
I should try that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tatiana, before we go, why don't you tell everybody where everyone can find you? I have you in your links in the chat though, or in the description.
Cool. Well, you'll find me again in this stream next week. Hopefully, the next Rings of Power stream that Heidi does, I might get in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do an end of the season one, and John's gonna come on too.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention in that stream, I don't like the Numenorian armor because I don't think it would actually protect much of anything. There's too much fabric and not enough metal.
I think it's supposed to be more like ornamental, like pageant style.
I mean,
maybe
if they're going into battle, I don't know. At least have some leather in there somewhere, like the gorget could be leather or something. Just protect yourself a bit more. Oh, and I did like Farazan's outfit when he gave the speech. That he looked good. That was a good color blocking. Mm-hmm. Anyways. You can also find me at Instagram, Tatiana Melendez PR. You can check out my blog. It's TatianaMelendez.com. You'll see all my designs and my performance videos and my performance photos there. And, have all the fun.
Thanks, Tatiana. She's going to be back next week, too. Hopefully.
And Carl. We don't get typhoons here. That's more than the Pacific. We just get hurricanes. And I am still waiting for a hurricane to be called Hurricane Tatiana, and for it to be like a Category 5, and for me to destroy some bitches. But that's just me.
Whose face is on the elf costume? What was that about? I'm confused. Are you talking about Lord of the Rings? Or are you talking about Ibu? Are you talking about?
Are you talking you?
Explain yourself, Lady Starfell. Okay.
Oh,
John, thank you so much
me.
for coming. You're always welcome. You're always awesome, and I appreciate you being here and putting up with us.
It's very kind of you, as you are. So thank you.
So tell everyone, where they can find you and who you are. And
you can't really find me
socials.
on YouTube. I'm not doing very many videos, but I do have a channel, AU Pack Mule, and you can always find me on Instagram. I do a lot of posting there and on Facebook. So if you need to find me, that's a great way to do it. And basically, I'm on your channel or Justin's channel almost exclusively now. So it's always a pleasure to talk any Lord of the Rings or anything that's coming up. Westworld.
I think Alicia's having you on one of her shows in the coming few weeks.
A lot of great shows coming out.
John,
Mandalorian,
John. It was funny because I don't know if I mentioned to you guys for my day job, I'm doing this thing called the Maple Innovation Challenge where people have to make a product with maple syrup products.
Oh, nice.
So, and then I found out today that apparently Canada has a cartel on maple syrup. Like they do price gouging in a cartel. And I'm like, wow, Canadians have a cartel on maple syrup. And that's not even a joke. Apparently it's true. So we're not as nice as you think, everybody. We can be. And also our dairy board apparently is corrupt. But anyway.
I mean, our entire government is corrupt, so I get you.
Yeah. So, and I'm costumeco. So what we're going to be doing is for the next 5 weeks, we're going to have a Tuesday live stream, House of the Dragon. We'll do a reaction. Every week we have a different guest. So normally is Tatiana is here, and then Rebecca. And then next week, I believe, is David Lightbringer. Do you know him, John? David Lightbringer?
No.
It is really good maple syrup. Anyway, he covers House of the Dragon, but he's also, I think my thing fell out of my ear. Oh, it did. He does House of the Dragon, but he's also doing Lord of the Rings. So he popped in actually because Tatiana was there for the Lord of the Rings and then she had to leave. So he popped in after. He's a very nice person. So he'll be here next week. And I'm sure he'll have lots of spicy thoughts about the show. Yes. Hallbrand. Hello. My favorite character.
I told you when we did the very first video that he was going to be super hot.
He's hot, but he's a great, I love him as a character. I think he's a great character.
It's interesting. I mean, he's giving a lot of Sauron vibes, apparently. But
everyone's Sauron.
I hope he's a red herring.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know, John, we can talk about that.
Oh, Arendir. That's who is. Oh, Lady Starfall was asking about Arendir.
Oh, Arendir, yes. What was she asking about him?
Like who's the face? Wait, I need to know whose face is on the elf costume. That's Arendir.
Oh, I think it's like a carved. Yeah, John, do you know who that is on Arendir's breastplate? It looks like.
Looks like the ones from the face from the gods would, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, we don't know, and they all wear the same one, and then actually one of the orcs steals it. And then I think and it looks like he gets it back or something like that. Yeah, David Lightbringer, LML. Lucifer means Lightbringer here on YouTube. Thanks, Carl.
Oh, and before we go,
house, Carl. I was going to say that.
Well, before we go, I just want to ask for y'all to send a prayer to all the people in the Caribbean, and the Bahamas, and the Turk and Caicos Islands and Bermuda that are going through this hurricane because there's another storm coming in for the South Caribbean over going to touch in South America. Also send a prayer to Mexico, who have just gone through a 7.3 earthquake in the West Coast, and the entire West Coast of the Ring of Fire is on tsunami alert. I think some have already gotten that, and there's especially in the Philippines. Send a prayer to Italy, that has also just gotten a gigantic, horrible hurricane themselves that has claimed the lives of at least 11 people. At last I knew, there were 2 people missing, a 50-something-year-old woman and a little boy. And also a prayer for Australia that has just gone through like a horrible hailstorm / hurricane, and they have their own destruction too. Please send a prayer to this world is breaking apart, and nobody, and the powers that be don't give a shit, but at least we can try.
Yeah, it's awful. Natural selection. Really, I didn't hear that. Oh, you didn't hear? Yeah, it's on the news. Puerto Rico is what I saw. They were showing that all over the news. I didn't know about these other nations like Australia and stuff. Like that.
Yeah, Mexico just went to like a 7.3 earthquake in the west, on their west coast.
Mm-hmm. I just was going to say, by the way, it was really nice. Aaron was in the chat. Tatiana, he's one of our fellow queens, and Aaron, we're really wishing him the speediest of recovery. We want him back as soon as we can.
He had to leave because of reasons, but he wanted to be here.
He had to leave, but we're hoping, that he'll come back. And he was saying that in the chat, so that was really nice. So before we go, I'm just going to say goodbye, everybody. We had such a great chat here. We had Blitzkrieg Staffords. Are you Spielkalb? I just wanted to know if you're the same person. Lady Starfall, Natural Selection, Carl Snark, who's our new awesome friend. Old Dirty Fatty. I think this is your first time. I don't know you. Mike Boy, S. Edwards. Who else do we have here?
Jeps 1973.
1973.
Man, very active.
Natural Starfell. Yeah.
S.
Really,
Edwards.
really great. I'm sorry there was a little bit of conflict earlier, but hopefully that was... Oh, no, just Blitz. Okay. It's just you both have like German sounding names. That's what I was wondering. Oh, thanks, Sabina, as you as well. So if I missed you, I'm so sorry. And I want to, of course, thank John for coming. He's our special guest. We're going to definitely have him back for Lord of the Rings. Tatiana, as always, I love you, and I wish you such safety and to your family and everything. I hope everybody's
Thank you.
okay.
Oh, and please pray that I get my water back soon because I really would like to take a shower.
Yes, and your water has been out. Oh my gosh, yeah. So let's hope that Tatiana gets her water back very soon. You have power though, right? At least
Yeah,
you
we have
power. Yeah, but not having water is brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks everyone. I hope
Thank
you have
you,
a
Heidi.
wonderful evening. Thanks, John. Okay.
Have a
Bye,
great night,
guys.
everybody.
Take care.
Bye. Mwah.